Welcome to session 4 of the Hidden Shrine of Tamoachan, titled The Curse of the Bloodless. I'm going to hurry and pass it over to Corey to do the recap from the last session before we continue.
All right, so the party of us young, spunky adventurers are in the shrine to Yolatzi, and we're in this cavern, and there's like a flame wall, and we're like, oh no, what's on the other side of the flame wall? And then Monty goes through it, but then like the rest of us go in, and we're in different time parallel things where Monty is in a room with like 3 duplicates of us, and we're in a room with a fake Monty, and we're like not sure what's going on because they're perfect exact replicas that are entirely undistinguishable from the real thing. And then there's a coffin in the middle, a sarcophagus with nothing in it, and we're like, oh, how nice. There's no like undead thing in here that's going to rip us apart and kill us all. And then what is it? There's another room with a bunch of mirrors. We go through there, and our heads start to get fucked with, and like we start to like turn on each other or something. And then and then like Yasni gets stuffed into the coffin. Is that right? Yep. And then we fight the Monty, and then we're in the same room, and Yasni's got some like demon shadow thing in there that starts to like rip him apart. And Monty's like, I'll save you, I guess. And so he goes over there and tries to save him. But then the shadow thing just wrecks them. And then me and Jeff, what was your character's name?
Aaron.
Aaron. So Aaron, the Hand of Tyr, and Kutari Gorudando Katai, the proud, mighty Goliath and hero of the story, fight off these 2 duplicates of themselves with a flurry of radiant smites and stunning strikes. It was pretty lit. Check it out. And then we run over there, and Yazi and Monty are just getting freckled. They're just so freckled and destroyed. And then Monty like is turning into this like shadow vampire thing. And then Aaron was like, man. And just thoosh, throws his hand out. He just murks the dude. And so here we are, like barely alive after fighting counterparts of ourselves. And we're going to continue to try and defeat this evil within. But probably not we'll all die, but we'll see. The end to be continued.
That was like a 3 out of 10 recap. That was decent. Too much freckling, exactly, Jeff. No, yeah, take a point of inspiration for that. Couple of missed pieces of information. Is the hallway was basically like aging them, like when they stepped through it, like so it was like messing with them super hardcore if they made a mistake or failed a wisdom save. So they couldn't go back and try and save Monty. That's why they had to kill him instead of let him feed, basically. Yeah, so just going off from there. Great. All right. Shadows. Shadows surround you. A darkness deeper than the absence of light seems to hang in the air and on your souls. Aaron and Kutari, you've been traveling since the Hall of Mirrors, maybe 2 hours. Things have seemed too quiet. You've passed several strange rooms. The traps have already been triggered. You've passed a room filled with different statues of old, forgotten gods that seemed to watch you as you passed. You've waded through filthy, murky water whose depths you could not see. As you continue through this labyrinth, through this forgotten shrine, these tunnels, old, ancient, you arrive at yet another open set of doors. Somebody's been through here already. You reached that conclusion a while ago, though it does not appear to have been recent. As you approach this most recent set of doors, You hear the sound of scraping beyond. Aaron, what are you thinking?
Aaron is definitely put on edge by seeing all these rooms seemingly gone through already. The doors open, the rooms no longer in any order. Um, it's only him and Kutari now, which means that they'll have to be even more careful than they already were trying to be before. Um, they have less people to work with, less tools at their disposal, and it's definitely kind of grating on Aaron's disposition as they continue to travel. Um, he's resolved still for his holy mission in this area, but he's definitely on more edge than, even more so than he has been, which was already a lot.
And Katari, I feel that perhaps you sense this tenseness in Aaron because you probably feel it yourself. What are you doing? What precautions are you taking? How are you taking in this new duo where the rest of your party's fallen?
So Katari normally doesn't let things bother him too much. Kind of takes everything in stride. But seeing these like two capable and powerful fighters kind of get like destroyed, and then him also, being on the brink of death in the fight, he begins to start to doubt whether they should continue in this course, seeing as they haven't even come across the main threat. And so he sees the tenseness that Aaron's carrying and is kind of watching him and kind of letting him take the lead. He wants to talk about, maybe leaving, but he also doesn't want to bring himself to that option. He doesn't want to quit.
Yeah, and as you guys approach this door and you hear this scuffling, what are you guys using for light? Do you have torches? Are you casting light on an object? What is it?
I'll hold a torch.
Okay. So you're holding this torch, and you step towards this door, and you see beyond what appears to be just plain. Well, you see kind of like broken and chunked and torn stone. And as you step forward, you see what appears to be a hand at the very edge of the light, but it's thin, emaciated.
Does it look like a dead hand?
Maybe, or just a very, very malnourished one.
All right, well, I'll step forward to illuminate my impending doom.
Okay. As you step forward, the light and covering this body, revealing it, you see that the form of the body is wrinkled and thin and very much so dead. As your light spreads through this large room, you see stairs coming down on either side of a veranda of sorts that you're standing on. This upper area looking down into a pit almost. A large statue of a monster stands at the very far end of the room. Benches like pews leading up towards it, and emaciated, desecrated corpses covering them, as if this was some sort of a worshiping hall. The bodies are mummified, preserved a little bit too well, almost as if they didn't have a chance to rot before the lifeblood was sucked from them.
As they see all this illuminated by the torch, Aaron's just gonna like put a hand out to in front of Kutari to stop him from advancing any further. Um, and without a word, he's going to close his eyes and just like barely a whisper, whisper a prayer to Tyr to guide his eyes and see if these corpses are in fact just corpses. I'm going to use a divine sense. So if there's any celestial fiends or undead within 60 feet, I become aware of them.
Does it tell you exactly where, or if just they're within 60 feet?
Let me double check the exact wording here.
Yeah, I believe it's just within 60 feet, but I'm not sure.
The location, yeah, no, the location of any undead, celestial, or fiend within 60 feet that's not behind total cover. I know the type, but not its specific identity. But I do get the location. Also,
Okay.
if the place is consecrated or desecrated, but every time I've used the ability, just everything's been desecrated. So.
Oh yeah, it's all desecrated. So 60 feet. Okay. So as you're standing kind of on this landing, kind of overlooking this like gathering hall almost in a way, 60 feet away, you would feel two presences directly in front of you, seeming to emanate from the chest of this massive statue of Zotzalaha, the vampire god.
And what type? I'm guessing undead, but just to be sure.
Oh yeah, deader than undead. They're undead.
Super undead.
Yeah, so dead that they'd be the undeadest of the undead.
Yeah, Aaron's just going to lean in towards Katari. Just the quietest whisper that he could possibly muster with his voice. Just going to say, "I can sense the spirit of undead," and he kind of points up towards the statue. We're there. I can feel it.
And as you point directly towards the statue, roll me a perception check, both of you.
Crit makes 26.
9.
Beautiful.
So
beautiful.
Good.
Katari, as he points towards the statue, explain to me how you notice that there seems to be a living figure lying at the base of it. Like, what makes it stand out to you? How do you notice it?
So Kutari kind of takes a look at it and like holds the torch a little further out. And you'd see kind of a glint against like some piece of shining metal that catches his eye, and then he sees that it's armor on something that is moving slightly.
Yeah, just that slight shift of movement. Your light catches off what appears to be a golden ring on somebody's hand. And as you kind of like pointed out, you guys look down at the base of the statue, and there is what appears to be an altar that the top is going to be kind of pushed off of, almost like a chest. And lying at the base of this altar is a figure, kind of dressed head to toe in robes that are flowing. And then as the light kind of like spreads a little bit past, as you kind of lean forward a bit, you see what you originally thought to be just a statue, a normal statue, is actually it moves slightly as your light touches it.
Kutari kind of exhales in like almost like a gasp, but like, and steps back a bit.
Would Kutari point out the living thing to Aaron?
Not at first. You would kind of just react. You would notice him.
Yeah, Aaron would kind of step back defensively. Not sure exactly what Kutari saw, but the him becoming defensive kind of just moves over into Aaron. What is it? What do you see?
It moved. It's not a statue. It's something else.
Would where Kutari points this out be like the exact location that my divine sense picked up undead, or is this something else?
This is definitely something else. And actually, as the light kind of like shines across it, go ahead and roll me an Arcana check, both of you.
9.
14.
What? 14 is enough. This moving statue of wood and stone, is actually a shield guardian. You know that these are creatures that are bound to anyone who wears its amulet to protect them and to serve them. Very formidable creatures. And as the light, as I lean forward, you see that this glint of gold on this person, it glints off of their chest too, as they're wearing some sort of an amulet, probably attached to this creature.
Yeah, Aaron would point up at the statue. The thing, it's a magical construct. Does the bidding of whoever holds its amulet and controls it. Would be unwise to fight it head first.
Katari could kind of look around for a way to advance that is not right next to the shield guardian.
Yeah, so there are 2 sets of stairs, one going down to the left, one going down to the right. This shield guardian is standing off to the right of this altar, right next to this body. So if you went down to the left, you could come down on the opposite side.
Maybe we can just ignore him and continue on. Katari would kind of start to move to the left.
What are your guys' passive perceptions?
16.
10.
Wow, that's solid. 16. You would be aware now that you guys thought you were talking quietly, but you guys have been in the dark and alone for the past 3 hours. You're actually talking fairly loud, and the words are bouncing off the rocks around you, off this stone chamber. And as you're kind of realizing this, and you start to listen just how loud you are, you hear something move. The faint scrape of fingernails on stone.
Katari's instinct kicks in, and he believes that some horrible abomination like these corpses are going to start getting up and killing us. And so I look for one that's moving and try and kill it first if I see one that's moving.
Oh, you can definitely stab one of these desecrated corpses very easily. Those aren't moving.
Do I see anything moving?
Roll me a perception check. At disadvantage, since it's on the outside of your light source.
17.
Okay. You see the reflective telltale glow of light bouncing off of open eyes. The eyes are pale, sightless almost, as something crawls across the ceiling towards you. Suddenly, you hear the sound of scraping fingernails behind you, too. And if you look directly above you, you'd see something directly on the ceiling above you, crawling down the back wall. One is going to get an opportunity attack against you. The other one is not close enough since you succeeded. Leaping from the shadows. Give me a second. Yes, a Tarask.
I'm expecting something terrible, like I don't know, a roper, maybe, like something like that. Something with tentacles.
You would wish it was a roper.
Trying to think of what else I know of. Dragons. Flesh golem.
Okay, interesting. All right, leaping from behind you, you see the light glint off bared teeth, sharpened canines. I mean, are they canines or incisors? The ones that are, I think they're incisors. Sharpened incisors, pointed like stakes. What is your AC, Katari?
16.
Okay, that's a 23 to hit. It's definitely gonna hit you.
Frick.
I don't even know why I needed to ask if it had 23 to hit. Okay, you take, as teeth sink into your neck, you take 6 points of damage, and then you feel the steady draw of your lifeblood being pulled from you as you take another 7. Suddenly, the thing that's pulling the life from you becomes visible and apparent. A gray skin, the mark of the bloodless, red eyes filled with hatred, long fingernails like claws, as the vampire spawn bites your neck.
Would a stone reaction help me here, or stone endurance?
That halves the damage, right?
No, it's a D12 plus con damage mitigation. Just straight damage reduction.
Yeah, you could roll that. I mean, like, I almost imagine like tensing up your muscles not to let it bite as deep.
10.
Okay, so instead of taking, did I say 14 or 13?
13.
Instead of taking 13, you just take 3 then, as its teeth meet rigid muscle.
Nani.
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 Oh, vamos. Okay, everybody go ahead and roll me initiative. That includes Mr. Shield Guardian. You may aid them if you so desire.
Ooh.
Nani. Omae Shinderu. Okay.
Nakatena.
You are unconscious, my hard rockin' amigo. Okay, so that is going to be. And what was your name, Mr. Shield Guardian? Or did you have one?
Gesh.
Gesh. All right. So because of the disturbances in the room, I'm actually going to hurry and do this. Somebody type something real quickly in chat. And what was your name? Oh my goodness. Jonathan, right? My goodness, it's been too long, dude. What was your character's name? Okay. So it's going to go like this then instead. So go ahead and make me a wisdom save, Sivad. These are going to be kind of like death saves. You're going to have to succeed on 3 before you fail on 2 to wake up by yourself. 24. 1 success. Okay, so just put 1 little check mark then in your wake up saves. Okay, vampire spawn. This one that's latched onto you, Katari, is going to chomp down again.
Fuck.
And that is definitely going to hit with a 24.
Shit.
And then it's going to make a claw attack on you too. Oh, and that's a 24 to hit also. Okay,
Bruh, what is this thing's modifier right now?
+6. Okay, so it's not gonna choose to hit you with the claw. Instead, it's gonna grapple you. It's long, deep fingernails digging into your clothing and grabbing onto your hair as it pulls your neck back and chomps down again, dealing 13 points of damage. Your maximum hit point is reduced by 7, as that is the amount of necrotic damage you take as it draws blood from you. You cannot take it back up to normal max hit points until you take a long rest. Okay, other vampire spawn is going to leap towards you, Aaron. 2 attacks. First, a claw attack. I'm guessing an 18 does not hit you.
Nope.
Okay, and then a bite attack, which is a nat 20.
Great.
Okay, so that's going to be.
Bruh, can you not?
I'm sorry.
24,
Okay.
24, nat 20. Let's see. He's going to crit here. He crits on his crit, so that'll be 82 damage.
Yeah, let me see. He does grin on his skin. I'm just kidding. Okay.
Just as a reminder, I have that magic necklace that halves life drain.
Oh yeah. Okay. So you're only going to take. So you're going to take 12 then from the piercing, and only 7 from the draining necrotic. So your max hit points is reduced by 7 as well from it drawing blood from you. I almost imagine that you kind of bring up your arm to try and block it. Its teeth go straight through your armor and sinking into your arm. Okay. Yeah, this is a short session. Okay, Gesh, it's your turn. Oh no, it's Aaron. Sorry, I totally skipped you guys. Aaron, it's your turn.
You were right. They died. It's okay.
Oh, I figured. By the way, one thing you would notice about these vampire spawn is they fall into the light, is they look emaciated, like they have not had a meal in a long time. So you can assume that they are very weak right now, but as long as this drags on, they're going to get stronger.
Yeah, Aaron is going to kind of butt this thing back with his shield to have enough distance to pull out his sword. As he does so, he mutters a prayer to Tyr. The blade shines with a radiant energy as he brings it down. I'm guessing a 19 is going to be enough.
Yes, a 19 will be enough.
Alrighty, so it's going to be 12 slashing and 13 radiant damage as I hit this thing with a smite.
12 slashing and 13 radiant? Okay. Okay, cool. Is your weapon considered magical when you smite with it?
That damage, the radiant damage is obviously counted as magical, but the regular slashing is still regular.
Okay, so you do 19 points then.
Alrighty, and then he's going to reel back for a another attack. This one is also going to be a 19 to hit.
Okay.
And that is going to be 8 slashing and 9 radiant.
Okay, so 13 damage then. Okay, yeah, you deal 2 devastating, massive blows to this creature. It kind of shies away from the light that you're spraying across its face. The other one kind of starts to shriek and back away too. And because you used a burst of light attack, I'm going to give them disadvantage on one of their attacks next turn. Okay. All right, Dari. Unless you have something else to do, Aaron.
I should do it.
Okay, cool. Dari.
All right. So Kutari, not wanting to die a horrible death, channels his life force into his fist as he punches the shit out of this thing's head.
Okay.
Fuck. 9.
Misses.
23.
Misses. No, okay, that hits, yeah.
Perfect. So he hits them, and then he's going to try and do a stunning strike. So he makes a con save DC 14.
Con save DC 14. Well, he nat ones. So he is stunned for this turn and will not be able to move or do anything.
Excellent. And then
How do you-
Kutari.
I'm
What's
also
that?
going to say he falls prone because for the nat 1. So
And then Kutari follows up by stomping his head in with his boot.
here comes the curb stomp.
18. So that's 15 damage, and it's magical.
And how much was that second attack for damage?
Total is 15 between both.
Okay, 15 between both. Okay. He is stunned, or I guess she's like an emaciated vampire. Okay. Yeah, so you just like slap her and then freaking curb stomp her while she's lying on the ground, just stunned. Just brutal. And these are my streets. Okay. Anything else, Katari?
Nope, that's it.
Okay, Gesh. You hear the sounds of battle on the landing above you.
Yeah, this the shield guardian has been patient, just watching the 2 people that entered the room. Probably had no idea that he's even sentient, awake, or anything. And as soon as the vampire spawns move, and they are engaged with the 2 newcomers, he immediately draws a two-handed greatsword that was attached to his back and rushes toward the closest one, which I believe is probably attacking Aaron.
Yeah.
And we'll just hack at it quickly. 22 to hit on the first one, and yeah, that's not going to hit on the second one.
Okay, perfect. So you got one hit.
Uh, 9 damage total, not magical.
Okay, so you bring this sword down on this creature's back as it's like attacking Aaron, basically. Oh wait, hold on, that was the wrong one. Okay, and you bring it down on its back, and it kind of stumbles away from you, turns and looks at you and hisses. You've been a source of frustration for it for quite some time now, as it's been trying to eat your master. And so suddenly your movement has startled it and frustrated it even more. Anything else, Gesh?
No, I think that'll probably be it.
Okay, Sivad, wisdom save. That is one failure. So you've got one success, one fail. All right, vampire spawns. Off to a great start indeed. As you rush up, Gesh, and hit this one in the back, it looks at you and then turns and sees your master unattended. It is going to try and occupy the two of you while its friend, well, actually, no, its friend is stunned. That's right. Let it go for it.
The only reason I moved, otherwise I would have stayed if the other one wasn't stunned.
Yeah, let's go.
Let's see, what would it do then? Let me think for a second.
Yeah, and I imagine that I'm making sure that at all times my body is interposed between him and the fallen comrade.
Yeah, great. Okay. The vampire spawn is going to dodge away from you both, provoking opportunity attacks. So go ahead, Aaron and Gesh.
Yep. That is a 23 for 9 slashing.
Yep, definitely a hit. And then Gesh.
It was a 20 to hit for a total of 11 damage slashing.
Okay. Yeah, so it takes 2 massive hits as you slam into this thing. And it's going to run towards this wall, and you see its fingernails just dig into the mortar as it scurries up the wall, disappearing into the shadows. You hear a grating sound as if something's being pulled from the wall, and a stone is going to hurtle towards you, Aaron. 2 stones as it throws stones, pulling them from the wall. I kid you not. That is another. That's 2 nat 20s.
Yo, you sure you want to keep using those dice? I'm just saying. I don't know if you feel like those are fairly weighted and this is just a random chance or
Well, I mean, they're improvised objects, so they're not going to hurt too much. But I'll use my other set for now after this. Those are rolling
that's
too
fine.
good.
Shorten the session up. That's okay.
Aaron, you're going to take 20 points of bludgeoning damage as 2 stones fly from the darkness and pummel you, one in the head and one in the arm. Good thing we're not playing Iskloft, am I right? All right. Okay, that's 20 points. The other one is stunned, can't do anything. Off to Aaron's turn.
I just need to check something super quick.
So ends their tale. Yes, within the first 20 minutes of the session.
Alrighty. Well, How about you suck it? Because that's a natural 20. Aaron's going to turn to the one next to Kutari, attacking it with
Okay.
advantage while it's stunned.
It's probably dead. Oh, no, wait, the other one was really low. Okay, are you smiting it too, or what are you doing?
Nope, these are just going to be regular. But
Okay.
that's still going to be 17 slashing for their
Ouch.
first attack.
Okay.
And another crit.
Are you kidding me?
Vengeance. No, I
It's just-
swear to fucking God. I mean, it's with
It's crit-
advantage because of the stun. But
Oh, yeah, I mean, but
still.
it's crit night tonight, it looks like. So go ahead and give me that as a crit.
Yeah. Alrighty, and the second one is going to be 13 slashing.
So what does this look like then as you just destroy this thing? It's not dead, but it's pretty hurt after that.
Yeah, Kutari like hits it with this stunning strike. It kind of dazes this creature. It's unable to defend itself properly. And Aaron, seeing this other one kind of dash away and move up onto the ceiling, is just going to turn with his long sword and just hack at this thing with a couple of just quick overhand strikes, just cutting first and down into its collarbone, and then another even deeper down, almost like cutting this thing's arm off if the cut was just a little bit further to the right.
Yeah, this thing is just like, because it can't move until the end of your next turn, right, Kutari? Yeah, okay. So this thing is just lying there in dazed silence, just taking these heavy blows. You actually shear off one of its arms with your heavy strike, leaving it just lying there, inwardly screaming on the ground, internally screaming, because it can't do anything. All right, Kutari, you see the panic in its eyes, though.
Perfect. So Kutari's gonna grab a javelin and spear it, which is a crit. So I'm on the team now too. For 13 damage. Is it still alive?
Yeah, because it's having every non-magical damage. that you
Oh,
guys
this
are
is all
doing.
magical. Level 6, baby.
Yeah, oh, I know. So that one was how much? 13, you said?
13, yeah.
Yeah. Wait, you critted. How'd you get an odd number?
Oh, I just rolled 2 dice and then added 3 for my modifier.
Oh, my crits, you roll a die, you roll your die, add your modifier, and then double it.
Oh, 19.
Okay. It is still barely alive.
Sorry, 18. My bad. And so while it's impaled with the spear, he's going to attempt to crush its head in with his boot. 24,
Which hits.
which hits 9 damage.
It has 1 health left.
He uses his bonus action to
Okay.
smash it one more time. Oh shit! 13.
13 does not hit. It has an AC of 15.
Holy shit! Fucking goddamn it! That's all I got.
That was with advantage, right? From the
Yeah, I had
the
a 3 and a
stun.
7. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I mean, Gesh gets to attack, so I mean, it's Gesh's turn. So this thing starts to scream in agony. It's more like a whimper actually, as it has just 1 hit point left.
All right, then I will probably do that real quick. I will probably finish it off, and then rush back to where I was over top of my master.
Okay.
Yeah, that hits 24 for 12.
Yeah, it has 1 hit point. How do you kill it?
I just imagine I just take the sword, just knowing that, you know, what the heck is happening to it, and just pull it up and just go straight down while it's stunned and silenced. And I don't even think. I just pull the sword out and run back the other direction.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, you drive it through this thing's throat, severing its head cleanly from the body. Its mouth still open, agape, and its whimper, and its eyes still full of panic. You could quickly get back to your master and stand by his side as the thing lurks above you in the darkness.
Yeah, I'm just back to waiting patiently for the other creature to come back.
Okay, Savad. $15, that's a success. Okay, so you have 2 successes now. 1 more and you'll wake yourself up like a true hero. Okay. All right. The very last spawn. Let's What'll it do? It's going to leap towards you in anger, Aaron, as you've killed its spawn mate and try and injure you. It's going to make 2 attacks against you, 1 claw, 1 bite. The claw attack is definitely going to hit with like a 25, and it is going to choose to grapple you to give it advantage on its bite attack. Making that into a 24 to hit, which will hit. So you're going to take 13 points of damage. You're going to have your max reduced by 7. Oh, no, wait, it's half of that. So it's going to be reduced by 3.
Wait, who is this at?
Aaron, you.
Oh, because you said because I killed his friend and I didn't kill his friend. That was Gesh. So
Well, I
just
mean,
wanted
you
to check.
mutilated the friend more than anyone else, so.
Fair enough. I'm just clarifying the technicals here.
Yeah, okay. Its anger towards you is more of like a you hurt my buddy rather than a you killed my buddy. Okay, and it bites down on your neck, drawing some life from you. So you take half of that, 3 plus 7, so 10 points. And that'll be it for the vampire spawn. You're grappled, so you'll have to break free before you can attack it, or you'll attack it at disadvantage.
Nope. Grapple is just move speed. So if you're going by raw, unless it has a specific ability that changes its grapple.
It just says that it's a DC 13 to escape.
Yeah, because grapple just reduces your move speed to 0. It's like only certain modified grapples that give you disadvantage.
Oh, okay. I see what you mean. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Fine. Yeah. So you're held in place then by this thing.
Alrighty. Aaron is going to try to murder it. The first attack's probably not going to get there with 11. The
Nope.
second attack is definitely going to get there with a 21. And that's
Yep,
going to
that
be
hits.
11 slashing.
Okay. Yeah. You just start hacking at this thing. It moves its head to the side, kind of dodging until you land one in its shoulder, and it screams again, opening its mouth from your throat. Anything else?
Nope.
Okay. Kadari. This thing is on its last leg. It is hurting.
Yeah, Qatar's just gonna kind of bring his hands up and just start bashing down on it as it's to try and knock it off of Aaron. So that was not a hit. That's not a hit either. I'm gonna use flurry of blows
Okay.
to try 2 more times. And I hit once
Okay.
with a 5.
Good. That's good. You have a knack for leaving things just barely alive. It has 2 hit points left.
Hold on. Can I do this? Does that work? You know what? I'll just count on somebody else. That's what I got.
Okay, Gash. It's your turn.
I feel like a machine that he probably is. He's just gonna do the same thing. He's just gonna walk over there and slam down the sword.
Monkey see, monkey do. Something
exactly.
like that.
Both of them hit.
Yeah, it's dead.
Geez.
It's got 2
All
hit
right,
points.
yeah, it's dead.
You cleave this thing clean in half. I almost imagine it nicks like Aaron's armor as it passes through it. It's like letting off a little metallic shing as it rolls across his armor.
Exactly.
Like cleaning bugs off your windshield. 2-7-3-19. There we go. Core to the rescue. Okay. Combat's over. Sivad, make 1 more wisdom save.
Oh, that's gonna be so funny if he wakes up himself.
Yeah, that would be kind of funny. Okay. He wakes up then. You wake up at the end of the fight. You're kind of just like the late arriver to every party. It's like, hey guys, how's it going?
The story of my life.
Yeah. You hear rustling sound behind you, Gesh, as your master sits up off of the altar.
Awesome. Gesh will rush up next to him and turn around and address the 2 newcomers. Quickly, if you can help him, please. He's not well.
Aaron reaches a hand down towards his own chest. A burst of radiant energy rushes off of it and into himself as he lay on hands himself back to his new max hit points. And he's going to begin to walk in that direction, kind of giving a concerned eye to Katari.
Katari would take his javelin out and kind of hold it in front of Aaron and remind him, you remember the other rooms we've been in here. This is probably just another trap. I don't trust them.
It did kill those two things alongside us.
Two
At the very least.
disposable monsters killing monsters. I don't trust them.
I can hear you, you know.
Good. I don't trust you.
I wouldn't trust me either. But my master needs help. If you have the ability to, please. I am tired of sitting here and watching these vampire spawns for the last, I don't know how many years.
Years?
I'm pretty sure that I said years. Yes, I did.
They're undead abominations. That's the only way you could have survived, right? You there on the floor. What are you?
You would look down, and rising up out of this like coffin altar is this doty old man with sort of like a Ben Franklin sort of thing going on with his hair, bald pate, but like these just flowing gorgeous locks going down to like his mid back, these small spectacles like resting just on the tip of his nose, just covered in cobwebs and dust. And he looks around just like sort of dazed and confused, and just looks to the two of you and says, "Erstwhile, Nub, is that you? Well, what happened? Where are we? Where's Celia?"
Tavad, they have gone.
Gone? What do you mean, gone? Where are they?
You have been asleep for a very long time.
Asleep? Well, who are these two then? Who are you boys?
Aaron is going to reach out with another divine sense looking for undead.
Kutari hoists his javelin and kind of starts pushing Aaron towards the stairs.
There are no other undead in this room. However, there is a fiend. No, I'm just kidding. Just screwing with you guys. Yeah, no, there's nothing within your detection thing, whatever.
Yeah, Aaron's going to kind of resist Kutari's push just a little bit. I don't know how, but that thing is not undead.
You're fucking with me, right? There's no way. How do you sure? You could be wrong.
My senses aren't wrong with these kinds of things. The undead stink against my senses. Well, trust is still not a word I would prescribe to these two. Neither is undead.
Undead don't bleed, right?
Unless they're the undead that feed on like other individuals, such as like vampires and stuff, because their blood comes from sucking it from others. So
yeah, true.
Here now, you two. I don't know who taught you manners where you come from, but when you meet someone new, you don't just whisper among yourselves. Now tell me who you are.
I don't know who taught you common sense, but trusting strangers in a vampire-infested evil temple isn't exactly what I was taught either.
I don't see how that's my problem.
Well, you need our help, so it is. Unless you don't, in that case, we'll be on our way.
Well, maybe I'm going to the same place you are.
That would make sense if you were trying to kill us. He kind of grips a little tighter around the javelin.
Gesh would turn to Savad. They actually have taken quite a beating. If you did want to take stuff from them, now would be the opportune time.
Sivad considers this. And he's like, And he thinks better of it. No, it's better to do this sort of thing in a group. But he looks to Katari and says, now listen here, young giantling. There'll be no threatening me with that toothpick of yours.
It's not a threat, it's a promise. If you mean to do me harm, I will harm you first.
Well, on my end, I've come across as a perfect gentleman. It's you and your clerical friend there who have, frankly, treated me with the utmost disrespect so far. But I digress. What year is it?
Gesh would kind of turn toward them as well, because he's lost count. I have lost count after 100 and something. It was kind of annoying to just keep counting.
You'll have to forgive the disrespect. We have had plenty of reasons not to trust anything in this place. It's evil down to its core, everything about it. We've been tricked and deceived and led into traps plenty of times already. It's nothing personal.
Well, it doesn't take a dungeoneer to see that much. And Sivad sort of stands out of the coffin altar and starts dusting himself off. The clouds and clouds of dust just come off of him, and he looks around in the base of the altar and picks up this about 5 foot long staff, yew staff, the end of which is carved into a pointing finger. And he sort of rights himself, sort of clacks his staff on the ground and says, well, let's move on then.
I apologize, sir, for putting you in the coffin as well. Those creatures were just kind of looking to make a meal of you.
Well, it's for the best. I do feel bad about the others, though. Are you sure you don't know what happened to them, Gesh?
I'm pretty sure those got to him. It's kind of been a while.
And you see Sivad looks legitimately saddened. He's pretty put out by this. He almost, like, you guys are almost, like, you look at him and you're almost reminded of like a grandfather who's lost his like grandchildren out at the market or something like that, and he just sort of starts sort of like tapping his fingers together, looking from side to side, looking if there's any sign of anyone around or anything like that.
I imagine, Yesh, that over the course of the past 150 years, you have stared at that door that your companions went through and wondered what was beyond it. Now, with your master awake, you are free to proceed if you wish. Behind the statue of Zoltilaha, you can see the twin door. Two massive stone doors carved with reliefs of the vampire biting the necks of victims. It opened once 150 years ago and has not opened again since.
Well, sir, I know you're probably not feeling well, but we can continue where we left off.
Seems as good an option as any. Let us proceed.
It's important first that I ask, why are you here? What's your intent?
Discovery, of course. Any good wizard of Greyhawk who delves into the unknown is worth his salt. I'm merely a man of my station. I came here searching for knowledge, searching for new spells to put into my spell book, and I was doing so when I opened up that very altar that you found myself in. Last thing I remember is receiving a rather odoriferous spray of mist to the face. That was the last thing I remember.
And what are your thoughts about this supposed vampire god that resides here?
Well, he can't be much of a god. I remember this place being in a much better shape of repair. But it seems that no one is keeping up around here, so he can't be much of a threat. Now, can he?
I say because I'm here to kill it, whatever it is. Just want to make sure that our goals are at least somewhat aligned in the event that it comes to a fight.
As long as I leave here with some form of learned knowledge, I'll consider it a profit. I do feel bad about the others, though. I'll have to send letters to their next of kin, if they're still alive.
That would be next of kin, next of kin. Sorry.
Yes, well, I'll send them some form of compensation their way.
Though it's probably not intelligent of me for the time being, I trust that at the very least we are not enemies, perhaps even allies.
I would say as much. Allies is a strong word, but we're certainly not enemies. You haven't exactly proven yourselves to me. Gesh speaks of you highly, but unfortunately I was asleep for most of that. So I have yet to see what you two can do. I hope you understand.
They were great at distracting the enemies.
Gesh, I don't mean to sound rude, but you've been stuck down here for 100+ years. I was asleep for maybe 10 seconds. Anything would impress you at this point.
You kind of hear like this, like, awful laugh, like, ha!
Hey, so what's marching order then? Or are you guys going through that door? Are you going to try and find another way, or what's going on?
In the 150 years that I've been staring at it, have I noticed anything that would help me out?
Nothing really. I mean, it's just the door. You haven't seen any other doors in the room, but I mean, like, you haven't really wanted to leave the altar because you didn't want to leave him behind, you know? So, I mean, that's the only door you can see, though.
But it wasn't like none of the vampire creatures ever came through it or anything like that.
No, nothing ever came back through the door. Those vampire creatures were already here. You know that there's a mouth, like a hole in the mouth of the Zotulaha statue that they hide inside of his stomach, basically.
Gotcha. So I'd probably just walk up to the door and kind of just stand there.
I'm gonna chill in the back, being the last to go, so I can keep an eye on everyone and everyone behind us that may be there.
That would be perfect. So what's marching order?
I think I would be in front of Kutari, and wherever Aaron wants to stand. It could just a reminder, right quick. What were the bas reliefs on the door?
They were like pictures of this massive vampire god biting the necks of multiple people. Just like each relief is like a different person, showing them change and then bite the neck of somebody else, almost as if like a plague.
Sivad is noticing a theme here.
Yeah, look at my equipment and try and fashion some kind of neck covering.
You can like wrap cloth around your neck as a hope to protect you, but
Dude, I'll take whatever I could get.
okay. Yeah, I mean, considering that it bit through the armor in Aaron's arm, I'm not sure how much that's going to help you, but you can try. Especially because those are vampire spawn, and that's a vampire god. So, okay.
All right. In that case, I just take the dodge action.
Okay, cool. The dodge action. You're taking a prepared dodge action. You can't do that. That would just be having perception going, so you can see if something comes at you. Whatever, fine. Okay, Corey. Yeah. Okay, so who opens the door then? Yeah, well, I mean, I know you're in the back.
I would probably wait for not necessarily orders, but the okay from Sivad.
Well, is it safe to assume that your marching order is kind of like this?
Sure.
Sure.
Okay, cool. We'll go with that. Okay, Savad is waiting on your order.
Well, before Gesh just pries open this door, can I take a look at it? Are there any defining features other than the bas relief? Can I notice any latches or hinges anywhere? Any sort of catches or maybe like spots that stuff are going to shoot out from or anything like that?
Well, one thing you would notice, the doors open inward, and it doesn't seem to be a handle. So if the door's shut behind you, it's probably going to be very, very difficult to open them. Which might explain why nobody ever came back this way.
Fair enough. I relay this to the rest of the group, and to sort of gauge their opinions. Like, once we go through, gents, there might be a chance we're not coming back out this way.
Do you think Celia would have known that, sir?
Celia's gone. Gish. Must not dwell on the past.
Understand, but she would have propped the door open or something.
She would. Celia was always smart like that, Gish. I think about it. Celia would have propped it open. I want to look around the room. Is there anything large enough to attempt to prop open these doors?
So there are some fallen stones. Maybe you can move one of those stone benches that was sitting in front of the statue over. That might work.
I looked at Katari. You seem like a strapping fellow. Why don't you and Gesh grab one of those benches to prop open this door for us?
Okay. And so he goes over there and tries to move it.
Yeah, I mean, you could easily do it with Gesh's help. They are made of stone, so they're heavy, but they're not that heavy, you know? They had to get them down here somehow, so if they were unwieldy, then it wouldn't make any sense.
Awesome. Then let's open one of them's doors and prop one open. See what the heck happens.
Okay. Yeah, you push one of the doors open and like place this bench in front of it, kind of like a door stop in a way. Yeah, he could probably do it himself with Goliath power. That's true, because he's like double or triple strength carrying capacity or something like that. But yeah, you prop this door open, putting this bench up against it, making sure that it stays widely open. And as you kind of look on the other side, you see something that kind of terrifies you. Because Celia did try to prop it open, it looks like. But it looks like whatever she used was moved. Her immovable rod now lies on the floor, unmoving, as if something deactivated it and moved it out of the way.
Oh dear me. And like Sivad would look around, see if anything was around, and like once he became satisfied that nothing was going to jump out, he would reach down and grab the immovable rod and sort of like just inspect it in his hands.
Yeah, it's still working, but something or someone turned it off.
Well, this isn't good, fellows. Someone or something very powerful moved the immovable rod.
I mean, it has a button. Turns on and off.
Yes, but that doesn't work for just anyone who comes up and presses it. It only works for the person who is attuned to the item.
I don't think that's how that works.
Trust me, I'm the wizard here, monk.
Even if that were the case, which it very well may be, they had over 100 years at the least.
Well, I'll just say that it doesn't sit well with me. How's that? And with that, Sivad would put the immovable rod in his pack.
If the point is that we should be careful, then we're in agreement there. Clearly something was here, knew that they went past, and blocked them from going.
Sivad doesn't really acknowledge that statement. He would just look down the path past these doors. What's farther on past these doors?
You see a long hallway. Every 15 or 20 feet is a indentation in the wall where you can see a statue of a feathered warrior bearing vampire teeth.
Sivad sees this and he looks back to Aaron. This is your area of expertise, isn't it?
Sorry, I missed what what it was specifically.
Oh yeah. Sivad would look back to Aaron and he would say, "This is your area of expertise, isn't it?"
Yeah, I caught that part. I just didn't hear what Tyler said was the actual thing. Sorry.
Oh,
so it's a long hallway, maybe about like 80 or 90 feet. every 15 feet is an indentation in the wall with maybe a 7 or 8 foot statue of a feathered warrior bearing vampiric fangs.
Oh, I didn't.
Would
Sorry.
would his knowledge of the Olmec religion and language and culture be relevant here?
Yes, it would definitely come into play. So you know that these doors that you come through are kind of sacred doors in a way. Like the only people who'd be allowed past this point would be like a high priest or a high chieftain. So this is probably an area that not many people have seen. Thus, much would not be known about this place. This hallway would probably lead to like the Holy of Holies, almost like their sacred place for their god. This Zotzilaha. Maybe not to the very next room, but it would at least be leading up to his sacred place, the sacred place of the vampiric god.
These statues mark sort of a designated holy place, and he spits the word holy out very unsatisfactorily. Him not exactly considering it that very few people would go past this point. Only priests, highest designated officials, the source of the final enemy, I believe, if not just ahead, is very near. This is the inner sanctum, so to speak, of their temple.
Hmm. Any ideas, gents?
We should be careful. These statues, they might not just be decorational.
Katara's gonna take a look and see if you can see any like mechanisms attached to these things.
So you're approaching the nearest statue and kind of like looking around it, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, the statue is rigid, unmoving, almost carved directly from the stone wall itself. So there doesn't seem to be any mechanisms on it. You would also know, Aaron, that these statues would kind of be seen as like a warden or a guardian against trespassers, like spiritually, like a final warning almost.
Yeah, part of him's worried that it's not just spiritually.
Good.
While they're doing all of this and having this like little discussion, I think Gesh would go up to another one. And while they're kind of going back and forth about, we should check these out and looking at them, I think Gesh would probably take out his two-handed maul and destroy one of them just to see what would happen. And like while he's doing that, would just be like, or we could just destroy them.
So you're gonna destroy one of these statues?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. What are you breaking it with?
He has a two-handed maul.
Okay. Yeah. You smash this thing's legs out from beneath it. It crumples to the ground, shattering. You are surprised to find that the inside of this thing is hollow. And as you shatter it across the ground, sending bits and pieces of the stone soldier or the stone warriors flying, you see that there is a fine ash kind of that falls and spreads out with it, catching in gusts of wind, a slight gust of wind rising with the broken statue. You see the ash kind of spreading across the ground, moving away from you, almost seemingly by itself of its own volition towards the other door, where it slips underneath, under the seam, the crack, and goes into the next room. And that is where we'll take a 10-minute break. Everybody go to the bathroom, get a drink, and we'll be back soon.
Nice.
Damn it. You're gonna kill us.
Oh, we're gonna die either way, so might as well just amp it up to 10.
Yeah, let's just smash them all when we get back.
Might as well. Might as well.
100 zombies and corpses or undead on the other side. I'm okay with that.
So any predictions on the ash?
It's slipping up under the doorway and reforming as vampire spawn on the other side. My guess.
That's a good guess.
Ancient guardians who were cremated and put in the statues or whatever, like you said, to scare the shit out of people, be coming to life. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
It was just filled with ash, and it's just a coincidence that it happened to slip under the door.
Hey guys, it just happens to slip under the door. It doesn't mean everything has to be tied in. It just happens to slip under the door.
Exactly. That's just where the wind was blowing at the time.
Yeah, there's a draft.
I get
Exactly.
that.
Hey, that means there's a way out that way.
Oh, definitely. It's definitely a way out.
Hello, gentlemen. So,
Hello.
are you as terrified as you should be?
I don't know. Probably not enough, I would reckon.
Probably. Knowing you is probably not enough. You never exhibit enough fear for it.
I have a very Ivan Drago feeling about death in Dungeons and Dragons.
Ivan Drago, explain.
You've ever seen Rocky IV, Ivan Drago?
Oh, okay, I see now. Okay.
Yeah, really. If he dies, he dies.
Yeah, if he dies, he dies.
And then Rocky gives his buddy a robot as a butler. Was that 4?
It might have been in that movie.
I think it was 4 where he had the robot butler.
I think it was that one, yeah.
Was that one were all of them written by Sylvester Stallone, or was it just the first one that was written by Sylvester Stallone?
I know the first one was written by Sylvester Stallone. I want to say they all were.
I wouldn't put it past Sylvester Stallone to give himself a robot butler.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, they exist.
Sorry, gents, was heating up some Buffalo Wild Wings. I'm starving.
Oh shit! Buffalo Wild Wings.
Good stuff, man. Best flavor, Asian Zing, hands down. All right, let me just get mine.
So you know we're not going to die now. He's not going to dare touch his dice and stuff like that with all the sauce all over his mouth.
No, sir.
Fingers.
You see, you got a mistake. I got the boneless wings just for tonight.
I was going to say, he's just not going to roll for it. He's just going to be like, yep, you get hit.
Natural 20. Natural 20. Natural 20.
Yeah,
Just
I'll
gonna
go
bang around
natural
the
20
table.
4 times.
Up, it's 20s.
Oh man. I can't believe it, guys. Look at that.
Guys, I kid you not, another nat 20.
Guys, I don't know what it is. I think I'm on fire tonight. I don't know.
My dice love
Nine in a row.
Whoa. Wow, guys.
Can you believe it?
Wow.
Wow.
Did you have to bring that back?
Bringing it back.
That's been like 8 months ago, it feels like.
It has been like 8 months. Wow.
Feels like.
Wow. Thanks, guys.
I love it. Wow. Nobody read that one out loud. What are you saying?
Dang, I'm getting called out.
Oh no, that would have been so bad. Oh, that game. Oh. Okay.
Let's leave that one for
Yeah,
later.
I'll tell you guys off air. I'll tell you guys off air. Jeff and I have a story to tell you guys.
Ooh,
All right.
is this juicy?
Quick, can you?
It
If
is.
it's really good, can you just kill us and just go off air and we'll just listen?
Okay. Yeah, so yeah, let's tell you guys after. Okay, let's go ahead and get started back up. Yeah, so the Ash, oh wait, sorry guys. Let's hurry and do character intros and channel stuff. So we'll start with Corey, plug whatever you want to, and we'll go over to John.
Yo, what's up? My name is Corey. Been playing D&D for like 3 years now or something. On and off, but no channels or anything. I always like to bring Goliaths to the game. I feel like they're underrepresented, in all fairness and equality amongst all the races. Just saying. That's all.
Jeff?
Don't let Corey's words fool you. It's not about equality or representation. Goliaths are just what Corey wishes he was in real life.
Oh, they're the master race, dude. I can't help it. Sorry, that's the true intention. I was lying.
Yeah, I'm Jeff. I have a YouTube channel. It's called Encounterbalance. It's where I run all my games. I also have a podcast that I do with Jeremy Lilly and Chad Nick called The Dudes of Yore. So check out both of those things if you're interested. Yeah, I'm playing Aaron, Hand of Tyr. He's a human paladin of Tyr, trying to kill the evil that's in this place.
Sean?
Hi, I'm Sean. I am currently playing my second character in this 4-shot, so it tells you how great we're doing. His name is Gesh. No channel to plug or anything, but I do recommend if you like some D&D intros and some small community togetherness, check out Absolute Tabletop on both Facebook and website.
And finally, Jonathan.
Hey, what's up going on, guys? My name's John. I'm playing a human wizard named Sivad Natanaj, Humans Forever. And I guess you would describe him as a utility wizard, so we'll see how that pans out if this turns into combat coming up. We'll see. But as far as stuff to plug goes, yeah, I got a YouTube channel, Sivad Sanctum. It's where I post all my online games. Right now, I'm doing an ongoing Keep on the Borderlands campaign, and there'll be some one-shots being posted there very soon. And I also have my blog, Sivad Sanctum, on WordPress. I'd really appreciate you guys to check that out.
Perfect. And as always, I'm Tyler, DM Ty from the channel On a Roll. It's RLE like roleplay. And I am just out to kill these players tonight, so let's get right back to it. The ash drifts under the door. The stone settles, clattering across the ground. The sound that the metal made crashing against this stone statue rings through the corridor. The wind picks up, getting stronger, and the ground trembles slightly.
Well, I think you were right. They guarded something that was ash.
Very astute, Gesh. Don't do that again. Now, if we're done doting over these statues, are we ready to proceed? Forward?
Yes, lead the way.
Yes, Aaron, lead the way.
Aaron looks at Gesh.
At least it got you guys all to stop arguing about statues. And he just walks down the hallway.
Sean, you can't keep doing this, man. I've already given you a point of inspiration. Stop it. All right. So Gesh takes the lead. You continue down the corridor. Gesh, you have a hard time understanding human emotion. Emotion in general, that is. It's something that you can't fully understand why people feel the way they do. Shouldn't everything just be normal? After all, you're a walking, talking statue. But for the first time ever, you think that you might understand what terror is. As you feel that every statue now watches you as you pass. You feel that you have made a mistake, that you have terrified, that you have angered something. And I'm going to need you to make me a wisdom save.
Oh, that's not going to be very pretty. 13.
That's a fail. You are now under the effect of a Bane spell. You have a minus 1d4 to any attack or skill check you make. Or no, it's attacker's saves, right? Something like that. I'm pretty sure it's I think it's the saves, not the skill
I'll
checks.
look it up.
Okay. You reach the door at the other end of the hallway.
Awesome. I'd probably just turn around once we get to the other end. Maybe inspect it out of just curiosity to find out, where this ash went, and then kind of just look back at the others waiting.
Well, it seems safe enough, fellows. I'll go on ahead, and I'll follow behind Gesh.
All right, and I'll just pull or push the door open if possible.
As you extend a hand towards the door opens by itself, slowly swinging inwards. And then a great gust of wind comes through the open door behind you that the bench is holding and slams the doors open in front of you. Before you is a large circular 40 by 40 room. So 40 diameter, 40 feet. A narrow 5-foot ledge circles the entirety of the room around the outer ring. And in the center, a pool of water rests. Rising from the center of the pool of water is a white, leafless, naked tree. It bends and is crooked at a weird angle. Limbs hanging lifelessly from it. More like vines than tree limbs. And the room is silent. Gesh and Savad, I want you to make me a perception check.
Help if I hit enter, sorry.
You see the glint of crimson and gold resting at the base of this tree. The colors, the standard, as you can see, a golden lion across a field of red of erstwhile.
Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. First we find clues of Celia, now erstwhile.
Well, you did want to find them, right?
Yes, but not in this way, I suppose. I'll look back down the hall to Aaron and Kotari, and just call back to them and say it's safe enough, fellows. There's simply a tree in here.
And probably our dead friend.
Yes, and erstwhile he was a chivalrous fellow from the city of Greyhawk. Uh, you might uh, confide in him. Aaron, was it?
Yes, Aaron. He says that just kind of like blankly as he kind of approaches up next to everybody else. And just in case you needed a 21 for religion, would this tree symbolize anything that he would recognize from any of like the myths?
Did you get a 21 on religion, you said?
Yeah.
Yeah. So in Ulman religion, in an Ulman culture, there are these. So there's this belief that there was once a great tree, a massive tree, a tree that never grew any leaves and never grew anything besides taller, larger, and more of these weird strandy vines that you see on this tree here. And this tree was called a gnaw root. It was the very desecration of trees themselves as a plant that did not feed on water or the minerals of the earth, but rather on flesh and blood.
I have a feeling that safe enough is probably not the word I would use for this place. That tree, I've heard of it, or at least things like it. It grows by being fed blood and flesh. It's a dark thing, an evil thing. Representation of the sorts of creatures we found here so far.
And at this, you would see the color drain from Sivad's face, and he would look back towards. He saw the standard of erstwhile, but is there any sort of other sign of the knight that he knew?
You can't see. It's kind of peeking out from one side of the tree, just barely. You either have to circle the tree or get closer to the tree itself.
Well, Sivad doesn't really like the idea of getting closer to it. This room that we're in, the ledge goes all the way around it from what we can see, but is there any sort of other doorways or openings in this room?
Yeah, you can see the faint archway of another door on the opposite side of the room.
Well, in that case, if Sivad doesn't see anything else in this room, he'll start making his way around the ledge.
By the way, my Mr. Shield Guardian friend, this ledge is probably a little bit too narrow for you.
I take it you said the rest of it's water?
Uh-huh.
How deep?
You can't really tell. It doesn't have the darkness of a profound depth, though.
But not anything where I could see the bottom easily, like, a couple inches.
Yeah, I mean, you can't really see the bottom. The water is a little bit cloudy. It's dark in here. Maybe if you were to toss something in the water or like sink something, maybe you could stick like a stick in or something.
I would probably turn to Saved and just, I don't think I will fit up there, or I will break it.
And Sivad looking back to Sivad looking back to Gesh and noticing his predicament, Sivad would and he would raise up his U staff and cast levitate on Gesh.
Perfect. Yeah, that works.
Yep.
Now you can walk like 1 foot on the ledge and 1 foot off in the midair. So it would work perfectly. Okay. So is everybody taking the same path around this, or are you guys splitting up into 2 different paths?
Same path.
Okay. You guys start to move along the same path. Same marching order, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Sivad said he was going first, so he'd probably be up front.
Okay. So I want all 4 of you to roll me luck die. That would be a D8.
2.
Okay. 4. All right.
Do you allow inspiration on luck die?
Yeah. Why? Did you get a 1?
Maybe.
Yeah. You can use inspiration luck die.
I
I'm
got a 1
tempted.
again.
You got a 1 again.
That means I don't have to re-roll, hopefully.
Okay. Aaron, as you're walking third in line, kind of just following these 2, maybe cursing your luck, having lost 2 good companions, 2 people you knew, and ending up with these 2 strangers, your focus lapses for a brief moment, and you nudge a large stone sitting on the edge of this rim into the water. We watch as it falls slowly, and then with a loud plop, it sinks beneath the surface. Everything's silent. Everything but your shuffling feet. Everything but the subtlest shift of the tree. Quick as lightning, a white root launches itself out of the water, wrapping around your leg, Aaron. I need you to make me a opposed strength check.
$19.
Okay, 24. Your foot comes out from beneath you. You are pulled into the water. You're sinking. You're sinking. You're beneath the water completely and being dragged towards this tree. All of you turn as you watch Aaron fall into the water, and you see that the tree is opening, its body unbending, unbreaking, becoming tall, lithe, supple, bigger than you saw before, limbs stretching, and you see its mouth open from the deep recesses of itself. Teeth razor sharp, like pieces of metallic stone grown within its body. As its mouth opens, erstwhile's helmet falls from it, plopping into the water. Roll initiative. Your guys' initiative sucks. Oh, there we go. That's the nat 20 I was looking for. Okay, we've got Aaron, Narut, followed by Gesh, followed by Kari, finally Savad. Aaron, you are grappled and being pulled towards this tree.
How far have I been pulled?
15 feet.
Perfect. Aaron like hits the water. And there's like this momentary bit of panic. As he's not only been grabbed and pulled, but he's now in the water in full armor. But he kind of reaches up and grabs at the holy symbol, the amulet of tear around his neck. Closing his eyes and kind of pushing air out of his mouth to keep water from getting into it. There's a whoosh of light as the root around his leg grabs at nothing in the water as Aaron Misty steps back onto the ledge and takes a dodge action.
As you Misty step, for the briefest of moments, you see beneath the water. Now that you're beneath the surface, the area is so clear. And you see that this gnaw root, it spreads across the entire bottom of this makeshift lake. It's huge. It's ginormous. This thing you see poking from the top, this tree, maybe a tenth of how big it is. This is something that you probably don't believe you can fight. It is the Naruto's turn. It is going to make 3 tendril attacks. 1 at Aaron, 1 at Kutari, and 1 at Gesh.
It'll be with disadvantage because I'm taking dodge.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, it misses you, Aaron. Kutari, does an 18 hit you?
Yep.
Okay, you are grappled. And then Gesh, does a 19 hit you?
It does, yep.
You are grappled. It'll then use its bonus action to reel you both in 15 feet. And that'll be it for its turn.
Would Sivad be able to get an attack of opportunity on one of the tendrils?
No, because it's not its main body.
Fair enough.
So it's not technically leaving your space. Okay, Gesh, you are being pulled. You are surprised at the strength of this tree.
Is it foiling Sived's levitate spell?
I guess it would just be pulling you through the air then towards it. If you can levitate, I guess. So yeah, you're like airborne, hung in the air. That's weird. Yeah.
All right, that's no. We'll just say sure. All right, then I'm going to hack at this root that's attached to me with my sword if I can.
Yeah, that's fine. Go ahead.
I'm still affected by that Bane spell as well, right?
Yep.
So that's just a random 1d4 off of all of my stuff. Is that what it is?
Yeah. So whenever you make an attack or a save, you roll a d4 with the 20, with the d20, and then you just minus it off.
All right, that's a miss, and that. Never mind. I can't seem to hit this thing while flying through the air and being pulled.
Yeah, I think the thing that surprises you is that this tendril, whatever it is that's pulling you, is just so lithe and moving and supple that it just happens to get out of the way each time.
I'm just gonna keep struggling against it for now. That's all I can do.
All right, Katari.
Can I attack like its body by like what it has me by? How does that work?
You can attack the tendril holding your leg, but you are underwater, so you will have disadvantage.
Sure. Why not? Let's go for it.
Okay.
Would I have disadvantage for breaking the grapple?
For breaking the grapple, no, because that's just the strength. It's a contested strength check.
Am I stronger than this? You know what? I'll just go for the hit.
Okay.
All right, that's an 8. That's a 9. That's a 15.
Let me check for you to see if a 15 actually hits. Who knows? And the verdict is that a 15 does not hit.
All right, I'm gonna use a key to. Actually, no, I had to declare that before I used the bonus action, so we're good. Oh, that's me.
Okay,
See
cool.
ya.
All right, you are being dragged into water towards this thing still. You have 2 more turns until you reach it. All right, Sivad.
How far am I away from the opposite door at this point? The one that we saw from the entrance.
You guys have probably made it halfway around the circle, so you're probably about
Halfway.
20 feet away from it.
Okay, and how far out is this tree in the center of this room from where I am?
It's directly in the center of the room, so it's like 20 feet away from you also.
Okay. And the tendrils that are holding onto them, are they above water or are they below water?
One's above because it's pulling Gesh through the air, and the other one is underneath. Oh, but you can see where it attaches to the body of the tree, so you could attack that.
I can't attack that? And as far as I can tell, it's the roots that are grabbing them, not the branches themselves, correct?
Upon closer inspection, you see that it's the branches.
Shit. Okay. Oh, I want to. Yeah, I want to go to the opposite door and inspect the door.
Okay, so you move the last 20 feet to the door?
Yeah, I'll move the last 20 feet, trying to stay as stealthy as possible. I don't want this thing, I don't want to catch this thing's attention.
Yeah, okay, so you can move inconspicuously there. Once you get there, you see that the door, again, it opens outwards, so into the next room. If you were to push against it, you would feel something shift on the other side as if somebody put up a barricade.
Let's see, let me... Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm going to cast Knock on it.
That opens the door immediately, right?
Yeah, if it's barred, it moves what's barring it out of the way.
Okay. You cast Knock on the door, and the door sits still for a second before bursting inwards and throwing bits and pieces of rubble and rock and columns and etc. out of the way, sending it spraying across the floor. The door is now open.
And do I see anything beyond that point?
What you see is another room, light glinting off of some sort of glass within it.
Okay. Well, I'm going to stand clear of where that big noise was because that thing probably heard it. So I'm going to try and move out of the way.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, so you can move inside the room and hide behind one of the doors if you wanted to.
Yes, I will do that.
Okay, yeah, so you'd step inside and get behind a door. And is that it for you?
Yeah, that's it for me. Not much I can do.
All right. Aaron, your turn.
Aaron is following in Sivad's suit, getting off of this ledge towards landing. So again, he's gonna kind of put his back up to the wall, build and sword defensively, and take another dodge action. There's no way I'm gonna live if I go in the water.
Okay. Okay, yeah, so you step into the doorway and take a dodge action. Just preparing yourself for this thing to attack you. Naru's turn. It'll make one tendril attack against you, Aaron, trying to grab you. And that's a
With
disadvantage. And that is going to miss. And it'll reel the other two in 15 feet. So you're both are now 5 feet away from it. Gesh and Katari.
I guess I will try to hack at it or break it. How strong does this thing feel to me? I guess I would want to say.
The tendril?
Yeah, that it's latched onto me. Does it feel like I could probably break it off, or is it one of those I feel like I should just keep slashing at it kind of thing? I mean, it is pulling however much I weigh, over a ton.
Yeah, the tendril is strong, but you feel the strength mostly comes from the body. You feel that the tendril itself is probably actually fairly thin, maybe about as thick around as like a boa.
Okay. All right, so since slashing didn't work, I'll give trying to rip it off of me a try.
Okay. So you're just trying to break the grapple?
Correct, yes.
Okay, so just being opposed. Well, it's actually, let me see 1 second. DC 15 to break the grapple.
An athletics check, I take it?
Yeah, athletics or acrobatics, whichever better.
Natural 20.
Nice.
So total 27.
I will let you, because you broke it with a nat 20 just so easily, you can take one more action.
Awesome. I think probably in my peripheral vision, I would see that Sivad is safe. If Katari is near me, or if I'm near his tendril, I'll try to grab that as well.
Yeah, you could easily sink a hand in the water and grab his tendril and reel him to the surface.
Sure. All right. I will try to do that. And if I can break his grapple, I will try to do that.
Okay, go ahead and make an attempt to break his grapple with advantage, since it's not technically grappling you.
All right, ready?
Hit nat ones, don't even bother.
Okay, good, because I got a nat 1 and a 3.
Okay, well you break the grapple because it got a nat 1.
Whoo!
So what does this look like as you pull Katari up by his foot out of the water?
So I imagine it's one of those, like you said, it's like a thin bow, and I just rip it off of mine. And at the same time, since I'm like levitating, I'm holding onto it, and I just like reach down into the water and use the tendril against itself to pull Katari up on the air and probably hold him there. I think I'm probably strong enough to do so.
You still have movement, by the way.
Then I will slowly glide closer to Saved.
Well, I mean, you can make it to the ledge pretty easily. That's like only 20 feet away. So
okay, I wasn't sure how levitating over water and all that stuff works. I don't know.
It just makes it so you move normally, right? I almost imagine like the levitation boots from like Legend of Zelda.
It states specifically that he has to push off of something.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, you could push off the tree.
Yeah, I'll use the tendril that I'm probably still holding and ripping off of to do that. So I'll try to propel myself toward where everybody else is.
Okay, so if you do that, then I'm going to let it make an opportunity attack against you at disadvantage.
Perfect.
Ooh, that was a nat 20 and a 3, so it misses. Okay, you push off of it, gliding towards the wall, straight up NASA style, just floating through the air. You reach the other ledge. Your movement ends. Katari.
Wait, so did I go with him, or am I still in the? Okay.
He's like holding you upside down, like he just fished you out of a river.
And they're what, like through the door? How far away is the door?
It's right in front of you.
Oh, okay. I'll use my action to throw Gesh through the door.
Okay, so you're just gonna like pick him up and shove him through.
Yeah, just chuck him like a frisbee almost.
Okay, and then I'm guessing you're running through yourself.
Yep, and I've got the young 45 feet of movement speed.
Yeah, okay,
So
you just dash through the door after them. You guys are inside. Aaron, you stand at the front door with your dodge action ready. Sivad, what do you do?
As soon as I see like Katari and Gesh just glide through the door, I'm going to like begin the process of trying to slam my door shut. I don't know what Aaron's doing, but I'm slamming my shut.
Yeah, you start pushing your door, shutting it. So one of the doors is shut now. It's Aaron's, your turn.
Aaron is going to slip through the other door after kind of temporarily giving up his defensive stance, just kind of dashing through to the other side. He's going to close the door partially, like about halfway before like slipping further down the hallway, just in case this is like the other door where it's going to be hard to open. He doesn't want to completely shut it, but he will kind of at least use it as a partial barricade, and then go to the rest of his movement down the hall, just in case.
Yeah, you guys kind of mostly shut these two doors, backing away into the room, and that's when you see that this room is kind of like it's hexagonal in shape, so 6 walls. On the 4 walls between, so the two over here on the sides. So the one wall you came in through, there are the doors, and then across from you is another set of doors, and hanging on each of these walls are 4 different colored mirrors.
I assume after a few seconds, Geshen would follow behind. Does the tree try to break through the door or do anything crazy?
Yeah, so you would see it as these doors kind of like shut, that the tendrils are kind of trying to like inch their way around, like through the cracks in the door and over the top and through the center. You would reckon that you have maybe 5 rounds before it breaks through completely.
Awesome. Then I would, as we're walking out there and seeing this tundra, I would probably try to take some of the stones and everything that are littering the ground next to it, and barricade a little bit of the one door that that Saved was shutting, leaving the one that Aaron touched untouched.
These mirrors that are in this room, what colors are they?
There is one of red, one of black, one of white, one of blue, and in the center is a basin filled with golden liquid.
Can Sivad walk up to the basin full of golden liquid and inspect it?
Yeah, you can approach it very easily and look down in it. You see your reflection coming back off at you. Roll me a perception check.
13.
You see resting in the bottom of the pool a scroll.
That's too easy. I'll leave it for now. I would like to walk across the room and inspect the doors.
Okay. So as you walk over to the doors, you see that they are framed in what appears to be a very ornate wood engraved with silver, almost like it was a mirror itself. You see inscribed along the edge of this door words in Ulman.
I do not speak Ulman, but I will cast Comprehend Languages. Or wait, is that the same as
what do they say? I can read them.
Oh,
Yeah.
never mind.
Aaron can read Ulman.
Yeah. Aaron.
It's what it says here is it says, "Make unto me that which shines and reflects the most beautiful of things."
Yeah, Aaron would read that out loud to everybody.
Yeah, you can hear the tendrils kind of cracking at the door hinges and pulling at the door itself.
You guys figure this shit out. I'll make sure it doesn't kill us all. And I go hold the doors closed.
Okay. Roll me an athletics check.
Can I get advantage because I'm double strong?
Sure.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to talk about. Ooh, good thing it was advantage. 15.
Okay. You bought yourself 2 more rounds. So you guys have, because 1 round has passed, you have 6 rounds now instead of 5. I mean 4.
Sivad having an idea, he's going to walk back over to the golden pool, and he's going to shuffle through his pack and take out one of the single gold pieces that he has left in his pack. He has 3, and he's going to chuck it into the golden pool.
And instead of sinking, it floats on the surface.
I'll look back to the others. Is that good?
I'm not sure.
From Gesh, you get your normal no response like you normally do when you probably talk to yourself.
Sorry, so you said there were like 4 colored mirrors in here?
Uh-huh.
Are they all different colors?
Yeah.
think I
Red,
missed that
black,
part.
white, and blue.
Make unto me that which shines and reflects the most beautiful of things.
Not unto, make of me.
Oh, make of me. Um, are these other mirrors like sort of festooned around in a similar way as the door is with these designs?
Yes.
Any difference, or are they the same designs as around the doorway?
Same designs, just no words.
Well, red to red, and Sivad would take out his dagger and slash his palm and press it against the red mirror.
Okay. As you approach the red mirror, you look into it, and before you can reach it, you see a spectral figure standing behind you in the mirror itself. The figure is you. And as you watch, a white tendril wraps around its throat and hangs from the ceiling like a noose.
Well, that isn't good. And Sivad will look behind him, like to where it's supposed to be, and like back in the mirror a couple times.
You see that the tips of your fingers are golden in the reflection.
Sivad will walk over to the blue mirror and see what happens in that mirror.
So you're gonna look into the blue mirror?
Yes.
So make me a DC 13 charisma check, saving throw.
Check or saving throw?
You'll actually add +2 to that from Aaron's aura of protection.
Saving throw.
Said +2 to that?
Correct.
That is 8 altogether.
Okay. That's a fail. So you are going to take some psychic damage, but you're also still going to see something.
All right.
So you take 5 points of psychic damage. As you look through this mirror and you see, it's almost as if you're looking through a window. And it's like you're staring back out into the center of this room. So it's like a weird reflection seeing into the room itself.
Mm-hmm.
You see that there is something that lights up around the edge of the golden pool, writing that you can't see right now. And you see that the door on the opposite end of the room, the one you're supposed to get through, is made of gold now. The door itself is golden and shining like a mirror.
Well, I'll take a cue from the mirror and I'll head back over to the golden pool and reach in and try and grab that scroll. You're muted.
As you stick your hand in the water, you realize with horror that you can't get more than the tips of your finger past. And as you do, you see that your hand, those tips of your fingers are now golden, and you cannot feel them.
Stained golden or actually golden?
Actually golden, like reverse Midas touch.
Ooh. Hmm.
You are down to 3 rounds.
Yeah. Please, anyone interrupt me if I'm taking up too much time.
Has Sivad been communicating these things that he's been seeing, or has he kind of left it?
Yeah, Sibad's the type to just like narrate everything that he's experiencing out loud. So he's been like, "Oh, golden fingertips, yes. Golden rim around the pool, golden door." Yeah, so he's been relaying everything that he's been seeing up to this point.
And what exactly is this pool? Is it like is it like a pool like set into the ground, or is it like in like a container? Like
It's
what
like
exactly
a basin,
is it?
like a like the sundial basins, or like a
a font.
Yeah, like a font, like like a bird pool type thing where the birds bathe in. It's kind of like that, a little bit larger, but like that, like a dais.
Is it attached to the ground?
Yeah, it's just in the ground. Yeah.
Okay.
I think while this is all happening, Gesh would probably walk over to like the black mirror and look into it. And you're okay.
As you look into the black mirror, you see superimposed over your reflection an Ulman tribesman. He looks at you, and you hear in your head, "Command me to answer, and I shall." You know that this figure is not actually there, but might be able to be influenced by some sort of a magical spell.
I would probably turn to Saved, and this mirror has a person who's talking to me in my head.
Now that he has these golden fingertips, Sivad would run his fingers around the edge of the pool. Do the words appear as he's running his hands around the edge?
As this golden water lightly drips off of your fingertips, your now golden fingertips, you see that etchings along the edge of the pool become visible as they turn to gold. They are in the Omen too.
Aaron?
Interesting. As he sees the etchings become visible on the sides of it, but he'll go up and scan it.
Round.
Oh God.
As you
What do
lean
the
over to
words
read
say?
them, the etchings say, "Only that which is arcane may touch what I hold."
Yeah, he would relay that.
Sivad casts Mage Hand and tries to pick up the scroll out of the pool.
That works. The scroll is picked up out of the pool, and as you unfurl it, you see that it is a scroll of control liquid.
Well, I look to Aaron. Shall I do the honors?
As the door is breaking behind you.
Yes.
I command the liquid, grabbing my gold coin that's still floating on the surface, to flow towards the locked door.
And as the liquid touches the door and coats it perfectly with the perfect amount of liquid, the door itself turns into a golden mirror, which, as you see the reflection in it, it reflects back into a room and becomes a doorway.
Well, I'm not hesitating, and Sivad just bolts for the other doorway.
The door behind you bursts open.
Assuming we all running. As I'm running too, I would just be like, "Sir, that was probably the most clever thing you've done in a long time."
All right. Here come 3 attacks at you guys. One at Katari, one at Aaron, one at Gesh, who are in the back of the party.
I built you, didn't I?
Nat 1 on Katari misses completely. You dodge completely out of the way. That's like a 12 on Aaron, so it misses you too. And that's a 16 on Gesh. Does that hit?
Does not.
All 3 of the attacks, they come right up short behind you, tickling your back as they stop right outside of reach. And you step through this golden reflective doorway. You now find yourself back facing into this room of mirrors, looking through an empty doorway into the pool where the gnawroot tree sat. The tree is gone, and the water that was there is now gone too, revealing a pit.
How deep?
The pit's 20 feet down if you walk up to the edge of it.
Is there
But
anything?
the
Okay,
door you came in through to get to the non-root tree is open also, revealing the hallway of statues.
Is there anything in the pit?
No.
Did you just kill the tree?
Yes, I did. I killed it myself, all by my own.
The mirrors and the dais are missing too in this room.
Well, I guess. Shall I lead us on?
Doesn't seem like much other option.
All right, so I would lead us I guess as far as we can. If the levitate spell is still on, then I would probably walk around them, around the circle like a pit. If not, I'd probably stop and just be like, I don't know what's going on.
It lasts for 10 minutes. I don't know. I don't know how long we've been doing this, but I wouldn't say it's been 10 minutes long.
It's probably still in effect.
Yeah.
Okay, then I'd slowly, as we like inspect the room in the pit, just kind of walk around to the other side to where the doors and the all the statues were that led us back to the main area.
Okay. So, as you walk to this hallway, the doors are closed, and you push them open. You see hundreds of figures down this hallway, all kneeling, heads touching the floor, arms splayed out before them, penitently. You see the gray-blue skin of vampire spawn, of bloodless, those who are cursed, and they do not react at all to you opening the door. In fact, they ignore you completely.
What are they praying to, or towards, rather?
The alcoves in the wall are empty. There are no statues there. And as you look towards the end to that door you first came through, you see that it opens the opposite direction now. You see beyond where that once massive statue of Zotzilaha was standing, it is gone. The chapel is empty, the pews missing.
Gesh looks to Saved for instructions, kind of unsure of what to do with. And you said there were hundreds of people, praying basically with their arms out to in the direction that we originally came from.
Kneeling prostrate towards the temple, that church place you guys came through.
How wide is the hallway with that they're currently doing that in?
So it's about 30 feet wide, and they take up like the 5 feet on either side, basically, all the way until the end. So there's like a 10-foot area to walk in between them.
With Gesh looking to me, I look at the other two and like just shrug and say, onwards and upwards, gents.
We've come this far. It's too late to turn back now.
So you guys go forward?
Yeah, I think with that we'd start inching forward as far as we can go.
Yeah, there's no reaction from these people. One thing that you notice immediately is that the figures kneeling here are not just Ullman. There are people from all different ages, all manner of adventurer and people who have come here, lining this hallway, wearing all different manner of clothing from the different ages of the world. You see noblemen, you see adventurers and explorers. You find your great-great-grandfather, Gorodondo Katai, who went missing in these parts. You see...
Can I carry his body with me?
You could try. It would be a detriment.
Trying.
Okay. Yeah, you pick him up. No one responds. I'm kind of with Aaron on this one. Get him on the way out, but you can carry him in there if you want to.
Yeah, that's true. I'll listen to Aaron, get him on the way out.
Okay. You see, what was his name? KNUB? Nub?
Yeah, Nub.
Yeah, you see Nub kneeling among them too, but no Celia.
Sivad is very distraught over this. Nub was not one for religious practices. In fact, he almost snubbed his nose at the thought of religious practices. He was a very stalwart, very self-proud Northman. So this does not sit well with Sivad.
Yeah. Aaron, you see various hands of Tyr who you knew would probably come here to try and cleanse this place. And as you walk among these silent, cursed people, the only sounds are your scuffling boots, your footsteps, the coughs as dust gets in your lungs. The figures kneeling don't breathe. They don't say anything. They don't move. They just kneel. And as you walk forward, you step into the room, into the shrine, the last place, the heart of darkness of this place. There is no door at the far end above, at the top of the stairs, but you do see a figure standing there. And as she turns, you see that it's Celia. But it's not Celia at the same time. You see her hand of Tyr, her symbol that she carried with her everywhere, is torn and broken. It lies on the ground at her feet, glinting brightly in the light of your torch. You see that in sconces all along the wall, red lights flicker and glow, casting shadows through the room. You see in a pile now revealed to you at the base of these stairs beneath Celia's gaze, a mound of bodies. Again, from all different ages and walks of life. You see a deep darkness in her eyes. That is not Celia, and you know it immediately.
Sivad, seeing this, he almost instinctually brightens because seeing Celia, Celia is the longest companion that Sivad probably had, all the way from the city of Greyhawk all the way to down here. Seeing her was almost a joy to him, but then he sees that darkness in his eyes, and almost instinctually, he just darkens. And almost without warning, he just says, You do this with your perversion. You do this to her who had such great light within her.
Is it perverse to live up to one's nature? This is what I am. And that is what you are. And you kind of nod behind you. You hear a grating sound as the stone doors shut. Hands of vampire spawn of the Bloodless pulling them closed behind you. If you believe that I am perverse, then you understand nothing. I simply do that which I was made to do. And she begins to walk. It begins to walk down the steps. You misunderstand, though. This is not her body, it's but a form that I enjoy. And he'd walk over to the pile of bodies, shift a couple to the side, and hurl a corpse out at your feet, Savad. It is her corpse. Shriveled, bloodied, mangled, lacking any lifeblood or substance. You see that her hands, her body is broken and tortured. He must have played with her to the utmost of her strength until she could cry no longer, until she could beg for mercy no longer. And he would dig another hand into the pile. So many bodies. People come for whatever they wish, for gold, to see me dead. And he'd toss Yasni out onto the ground before you, foolishly believing that they could gain some prestige from investigating, from infiltrating, from defiling my home. And he tosses Monty out onto the ground. But they did not understand. And he would turn and look at you. Another hand of tear. I can't say that I'm surprised. At least one of you shows up every generation. Tell me, have you heard from the last that tried to defile my tomb, my shrine? Oh, yes. And he'd reach in and pull out the hand of tear that you met at the very entrance and toss him at your feet. You dispatched him yourself. So what will it be? Do you wish to join those that kneel outside or die like these?
Aaron doesn't say anything. There's just the sound shing of his sword coming out of the sheath.
You don't need to die, foolish human. See how many of your brethren chose to kneel instead. Did you see them as you entered, walking down that hall? Oh, yes, most choose to kneel. But some are just foolish enough to die.
They were weak in their faith, or I'm not. They've chosen poorly.
And what of you, young Goliath? Do you wish to live or die?
To live or die with glory.
And Sivan, I believe it was, yes, who met with the 1,000-year poison. Can't say that I'm surprised, but I am surprised that you're awake. It's only been, what, 150? Short time.
Seems your tricks, as they were, are not as powerful as you thought. I'm not a religious man. Zotsilaha, was it? But I do know one thing. It must be a sad deity to be one that has to make its own followers. I cannot speak for my paladin friend here, but he came to Tyr of his own volition. Those creatures out there that we saw, they were tormented, coerced, forced into your servitude. How sad is it that you must dwell down here in the dark, where no one knows who you are, or who gives a fuck about you? I choose to stand and spit in your face
They speak about me in the shadows. Perhaps you, who chooses to only see what you wish, might not understand, but the power I offer. And she starts walking towards you. The light of your torch that should have cast such a small shadow, you see now that it is huge behind her, as if this form is nothing but a piece of what this god is. You see her skin begin to darken to a deep purple. Her muscles begin to bulge and tear and rip through the skin. He grows until he stands 20 feet tall. Fangs, the fangs of a vampire, thick as daggers, smile between thick black lips. See my true form and tremble. Wisdom saves everybody before we roll initiative.
Add 2 to that save.
I believe you don't have to roll this, Aaron, because it's against being frightened, yeah? I believe paladins are immune to being frightened, or is that a later level?
Don't think so.
Okay, just go ahead and roll then. That's fine.
I'm using inspiration to re-roll that 2 into a natural 20.
Nice. You all succeed. None of you are feared. Go ahead and roll me initiative now then. Okay. Okay, so it's going to be...
We're killing it on the initiative rolls here. It's
on last by... Zotsilaha holds a hand to the side. You watch as blood trickles from the pile of bodies behind him, forming... I don't remember what the weapon's called, but those the club that the Jaguar warriors carried with like obsidian along the edge of the blade. One of those forms into his hand. I don't remember what it's called, but it's effectively a longsword. So it forms into his hand, and he's going to make one attack with it and one claw attack to try and grapple somebody. So he's going to swing this at, oh my goodness, I didn't even think, at Savad. And a 22 hits, yeah. I'm going to take the silence as a yes.
Oh yeah, sorry. I always forget that you can't see me nod on this because my camera is shit. But yes, that does hit.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so that's 9 points of damage to you as this huge blade cuts you across the chest. With a claw attack, he's going to swing his hand towards Aaron, and that is going to be a 19. Does that hit you?
No.
Okay. You very nimbly dodge to the side as his hand comes sweeping towards you, and that'll be it for his turn. Aaron, it is your turn.
Yeah, Aaron jumps back using his shield to kind of knock his hand away, and he grabs down at the amulet of Tyr. In the name of Tyr, you will see justice for your deeds. And he begins whispering in Celestial, this like strange prayer to Tyr. And this is doing two things. He's casting protection from evil on himself. So any undeads, fiends, or evil creatures, he cannot be frightened, possessed, charmed, or anything by them, and also is will have disadvantage to hit him. And I'm also using my paladin ability against him to abjure him as a bonus action, giving me advantage on any attacks against him.
Okay, is that it?
But that'll do it.
Okay, cool. All right, Claire. Wait, so are you seriously down, Sivad?
Yep.
Puzzle. Wait, but you're like level 5. Shouldn't you have way more health than that?
Not if I rolled shit on health.
Oh, okay. Claire is going to step towards Gesh then, I guess, and try and grapple you. She's whispering the whole time, Gesh, please help me. That's a 17. Does that hit you?
It does not.
Okay. She weakly and feebly scrambles at your leg, trying to grab you and get purchase. Monty moves towards you, Katari. Oh, he's going to move towards Aaron. You killed me. Why? Why would you do this?
If he counts as undead, then he's going to have disadvantage.
Yeah, that's fine.
Protection.
Okay, well, he misses, but he's like scrabbling at your leg, like trying to grab you. Why would you kill me? We were friends. Yosni is going to try and little gnome boy is gonna try and grab Katari. Please help me. You left me behind. Why? That's a 17. Does he get you?
Yeah, he does.
Well, you get to oppose though.
Oh, is he grappling?
Yeah, he's grappling.
Oh, I got you. Yes, he gets me.
Okay. His arms wrap around your leg, and he kind of starts pulling at you to try and pull you towards the ground or pull you towards Zotilaha. Okay. I'm just waiting for Corey just to beat Yosni down again. Just stab him through. Okay. Gesh, your turn.
Oh man, this isn't looking too good. Really quickly, so it looks like to Gesh, all of the corpses that he threw to us have begun to rise and animate themselves in some fashion. Okay. Then what he will do? Well, let me just double check real quick. He will position himself if he can to breathe fire on as many people as he can in a 15-foot cone.
Yeah, you could position yourself to get probably Claire, Monty, and Zotilaha in that.
Okay, I will go for that. DC is, I think 12 maybe.
Claire fails, Monty fails, and Zotilaha definitely succeeds.
Okay, so so 10 damage to those who failed and 5 damage to Zohalaha fire.
Okay, Claire begins to scream as you light her on fire. Why? Why? As she falls to the ground, burning. Monty collapses as well, and Zotilaha barely seems phased.
All right, and then is Claire dead down kind of thing?
Yeah, she's dead down.
Okay, then I would probably take the remainder of my move.
You just went silent.
Yeah,
Sorry,
your
say
mic
it.
just cut out.
Yeah, I figured it did. I would just take my movement and try to get as close to Savet as possible.
Okay. Yeah, you can easily interpose yourself then.
Awesome.
All right, then. That means that it is Valdir's turn. Valdir is going to stumble towards you, Aaron, and he is going to try and grapple you also. He's going to be a little bit better at this. He has disadvantage still? Aaron?
Um,
Or is only the first person that attacks you?
no, but it's just attack. It's attack rolls.
Oh, okay, so he's going for a grapple though. Okay,
Yeah,
so that would
but
be
I rolled a natural 20, so
Oh, okay. He got like a 21, but it's not natural. Okay, yeah, you just shove him off to the side, away from you.
yeah, 27.
As he's whispering, you can't fight this. Okay, Sivad, death save. Okay, that's a success on your first one then. Katari.
I am sorry, little one. It's like pull a javelin out and attempt to just like run it through, just stab it right through his chest.
Yeah, then go ahead, go for it.
16.
Yeah, 16 definitely hits.
Perfect.
No,
9 damage, 9 magical damage.
Yeah, you kill him. Oh, I'm sorry, little one. Okay. Yeah, you run him straight through.
Perfect. Then I'm gonna run up towards Zotsilaha and just try and stab a couple javelins into him. Ooh dear. First one's a 9, the next one's a 19.
Both miss.
Nani?
Nutty.
By Rod's an action, but do I sense that he like was it like immaterial as I like tried to attack him?
Oh no, your attacks hit. They just bounced off of his rock hard skin.
Even though they're magical? Fuck, man. All right, well, that's that then.
That's just me flavoring that you don't hit.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, so your attacks just feel like they bounce off of him. And he just looks down at you. And he raises the massive club. This, oh my goodness, I had the name, but now it's freaking pooping. Okay, Makwahidal club over his shoulder. He lifts it up and brings it slamming down on you. That's a 20 to hit. And that'll be 12 points of damage as he chops you just down on the shoulder like a lumberjack. And then he is going to, as you're kind of careening from this attack, he opens his jaws wide, almost unhinging them. Is going to make a bite attack at you. And that's a 22 to hit. You're going to take 15 damage from that one. And he gets a little bit of life back. As you feel lifeblood being drained from you. And that'll be it for Zosulaha. Aaron, your turn.
Yeah, Aaron is almost lost in the holy rage against this foul creature. He's gonna try to beat him down. Hopefully these will a 26 hit.
No, sir, it doesn't actually, as he uses his legendary resistance. No, just kidding. Yeah, you did. Go ahead.
Alrighty. Yeah, he brings his longsword up, just bringing it down, like striking upwards at this creature, trying to jab at it despite its towering height. As he does so, golden flames streak down the blade as he smites it. It's going to be 9 slashing, a non-magical, but 26 in. And then another slash, modified 20.
Barely hits.
We did it. Another blast of radiant energy as he slashes across. This one is going to do 8 slashing and 14.
My lows, that's painful. What does it look like as you literally burn away bits and pieces of his essence with your holy light?
Yeah, like his sword has just got this like glowing holy. It's almost like fire, like the way that it rides across his blade. And as he cuts into it, that light almost like sears lines across this like purple skin. You can see like the reddish glow of the holy energy kind of almost like seep through it. You can see parts of it like glowing with this fire as it like burns inside into this thing's like undead bloodstream in that area for a moment before it kind of fades and burns.
Yeah, your cuts don't leave like cuts, like bleeding, puckering wounds. They leave gaps in his body as this radiant energy just burns through him. Next up then is Gesh.
Awesome. So who is Valdir near?
He's like right behind Aaron.
Okay, Gesh will slide over to him and take a chop at him real quick.
Okay.
14.
14 will miss because he is wearing armor.
All right, then I will use my second attack on him. That's better. 22.
Hits.
Uh, 13 total damage.
Okay, that drops him. Valdir just collapses.
Nice. And then and then I will use I will just head back to Tassivet again.
Okay. Savad, death save. Watch him nat 1. Okay, almost a nat 1. So that's 1 fail, 1 success, 1 fail. What's going through your mind, Savad, as you're lying there near unconscious, almost dead?
There's nothing going through Sivad's mind at this moment than the searing hatred coursing through him toward Zotsalaha. Like, Sivad is not, as he said, he's not a religious man. He has nothing but hatred for something such as this creature that has such a high opinion of itself over people. And he just imagines what he did to his friends down here in the dark, and it just enrages him to no extent in this moment. He almost doesn't notice the lifeblood pouring out of him at this moment.
Okay. Yeah, it's just burning, searing pain throughout your body, filled mixed with hatred. Katari. You just took a whooping, boy.
Yes. Is there anything in the room that would provide cover?
There are like broken statues and stuff that you could try and get behind. There's the pile of bodies behind Zotsalaha.
Excellent. So, seeing an opening to get the heck away from this thing, and Aaron's gonna have to go toe to toe with him as Kutari is literally starting to bleed out. I use a key point to disengage, and then run 30-ish feet away,
Okay.
and take kind of half cover behind like a broken statue in the room. And I'm just gonna start chucking javelins from farther away, hoping that I can help. Hoping I can help Aaron carry us through this.
Okay.
20 and 17.
17 misses, 20 hits.
Perfect. And that's going to be 8 damage from my magic javelin.
Okay. You throw a magic javelin at him, and it pierces him in the shoulder, and he just looks at it and starts to laugh again. And he turns and looks at Aaron. Your friends abandoned you one by one. Do you not see now who is superior? And he is going to use one of his legendary actions. His body drips away, becoming blood, a mist of blood. It spreads through the room, filling all of your lungs. As you breathe in, you feel him inside of you, inside of your chest, inside of your heart, squeezing, pulling, straining at your lungs, at your heart, at your stomach, at your throat, at your mind. Everybody go ahead and make me a con save.
So Corey will no longer get +2 from me because he is outside of my range, but everybody else will.
Okay. So DC 14. So that is, what'd you get, Jeff?
That is going to be a 17.
Okay. Everyone who failed take 10 points. Everyone who succeeded take 20. I mean, everyone who succeeded take 10. Everyone who failed take 20. So that is an instant fail for you, Sivad.
Oh yeah, so now is it 2-1 you're at?
Yeah, he's 1 success, 2 fails.
Yeah, so Kutari also falls unconscious. It just kind of like slumps over the statue that he was, the crumbled statue was hiding behind.
Okay. He will then use his normal action to make 2 attacks on Aaron.
With disadvantage.
With disadvantage, that's right. Okay, so first one's a 21. That still hits, right?
Yes.
Okay. Second one, oh, that's probably going to miss. Yeah, so that's a 16. That misses. Yeah. Okay. So only his Makwa Heal hits you. And that is going to do 9 points of damage. Okay. He brings this blade crashing down again. You barely manage to get your arm in the way, but it cuts deep into your shoulder and arm, leaving large gouges and tearing away chunks of armor and flesh. And that'll be it for his turn. Oh, Valdir's dead. I forgot to remove him from the order. Someone type something in chat. Okay. All right, Aaron, your turn. The heck, why is Yasmi in there again?
He's back from the dead. Wait.
Again. Undead round 2.
Okay, Aaron, your turn.
Yeah, Aaron's shield arm kind of sinks from this huge blow into his shoulder. The cut rending through his armor and into his skin. But he just kind of grits his teeth and leans in. Companions here or not, Tyr is still with me. He will bring you to death, more so than they will. He leans into the strike with his sword. And this advantage is really, really doing some dividends here today. 22 and 24 to hit.
Yeah, both hit.
All right, I'm gonna use another my last level 1 spell slots to make that a double smite. It's gonna be 6 slashing, 22 radiant, and then 10 slashing, 14 radiant.
He's just like, the light. Yeah, he's hurting.
Just the golden flame, holy flames continue to just wreathe around the sword, and like across Aaron's body, like his armor like glowing with this holy light.
Yeah, you guys should appreciate him. He is carrying this fight. That is so much damage. Okay, yeah, he's hurting really bad now. He's like, as he's breathing, You actually see little bits of black blood fleck out of his lips as he coughs. Gesh.
Rules question really quick for you guys.
Mhm.
When a fighter gets to take his extra attack, can one of those be swapped out for a spell, or does it have to be 2 melee attacks to use that?
Because it's the action to use the attack action, and it just happens to be that you get 2 attacks instead of 1, so it's still an
Yeah.
action to use it.
So you
That's
could
what I
attack
figured.
twice. So you could attack twice, action surge, and then use another action to cast a spell or attack twice.
Man.
I don't remember what level it is, but I think the Eldritch Knight gets like a specific ability that lets him swap an attack for a cantrip, but
Yeah,
That's
I think
seven, I
next
believe.
level. Yeah.
I believe that's 7.
Yeah, I was looking at that and I was like, damn, one more. All right, so does he visibly look hurt? Like you were saying, like he's not
Like
doing
he's hurting. Yeah, he's hurting.
All right, I'm going to head after him, stand side by side next to Aaron, and just wail away at this guy. And I will spend an action surge, so 4 attacks.
Okay.
A 20, 17, natural 20, and 19.
So the natural 20 and the dirty 20 hit.
Gotcha. All right. So the regular. Oh shit! Sorry. The regular is 14. And 22 for the critical.
Okay. Yeah. What does it look like as you lay into him?
I just imagine it's one of those, like, he's just seeing everybody go down. He's probably come to the realization now that Aaron is probably the only one that could heal Saved. And so he's just going to go dang near berserk and just go crazy trying to get this guy down as fast as possible to see if somebody could heal Saved. So he just probably just overhand swings over and over and over again into this creature. You said he's 20 feet tall, so I imagine it's like hitting him at like his, thigh or something to that effect.
Yeah, and you see that you're cutting deep, but not as deep as you would be hoping. It almost as if his body has a supernatural resistance to these normal attacks. Sivad, death save.
Oh man.
Oh,
Nice knowing you.
Sivad, what does it feel like as you pass away, dying?
Sivad feeling the final moments on their way and watching as Aaron and Gesh wail into this creature playing pretend god while Kutari also lies dying, slumped over a statue. He is at least satisfied with the fact that this creature, whatever it is finally getting its comeuppance. It's finally being shown what it's done to people over the centuries. It's finally seeing its last moments coming for it. And he dies with the satisfaction knowing that somebody will finally leave this place alive.
Sivad, what's your reaction as Clear meets you on the other side?
It's one of jubilation and excitement at meeting an old friend. Like he's on the verge of tears, and he would walk up to her and just ask, "Where is Nub and Erstwhile?"
And she would look towards all the kneeling figures.
And And Sivad would look back to her and just say, "No, this isn't what I think it is it?"
And she would just look at you sadly. She would turn and start walking towards a light. And as you try to follow her, there's like a great sensation of wind rushing past you, going the opposite direction towards your body as you're pulled slowly back into it. You stand to your feet and you're filled with a hatred towards Gesh who let you die. Kutari, it is your turn. Death save.
Yeah, I got a 14, so I'm 1-0.
Okay. Zotulaha. Before your turn ends, Kutari is going to use another legendary action to, you see the ground beneath you, through the cracks in it, blood starts to swell up through the floor. The ground is now difficult terrain. It is swampy, fetid, disgusting. Out of the murky blood, Sivad stands to his feet, eyes blank with undeath, moaning in anger. Gesh, why? How could you? Zotsulaha, on his turn, is going to bonus action Bloody Misty Step. As he disappears into the pool of blood and reappears back up on the terrace above you, he holds his Makwahidal in the air and it turns into a javelin, to not waddle. I think that's what it's called, right? The thing that throws spears. Oddle, that's what it is. Turns into an oddle, and he's going to heave a javelin at you, Aaron.
With disadvantage.
Okay. Doesn't even matter. It's a 23 to hit. And that is going to be 8 points of damage. As this pierces you through the thigh, going straight through and embedding itself in the ground. Aaron, it's your turn.
How far is he? How far?
You'd have to go back and go up the stairs, so probably about 30 feet away. And it's difficult terrain, by the way.
All right, I'm gonna take the dodge action and move towards him.
Okay, cool. So you move halfway there. All right. Gesh.
Well, actually, if it's okay, he already has disadvantage against me. I'll just dash instead.
Oh, get right up in place to him. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, yeah, you can get right up next to him, so you're there next turn. Gesh.
I assume I would probably just do the same. I would just get up there and charge after him.
Okay. You have to dash past. You have to dash past Sivad to get there and take an opportunity attack, if that's okay.
Do I even know that he's conscious and hating me at the moment?
You'd hear Gesh, why did you let me die? So yeah.
Oh, sorry. I thought you said that was from the Zotilla.
No, it's from Sivad.
I don't think I would be smart enough to understand. So I would probably like walk over to him and try to help him real quick. I didn't let you die, sir. You're evidently alive and well.
So you walk over to him and stop there?
Yeah, I would think so really quick. If he's like up, then yeah.
Okay, yeah, you approach him. Sivad, what do you do? You are now playing as a zombie from the Monster Manual.
So, as a zombie from the Monster Manual, am I smart enough to use weapons, or is it just attacks?
Yeah, you're intelligent enough to use weapons.
But not my magic?
Not your magic. You don't have access to your magic anymore.
Damn, okay. Here's the thing. I had no offensive spells at all. All I had was utility spells, so that would have been interesting.
Oh, use haste on Zotalaha. That'd be nasty.
Yeah, 22.
Okay, yeah, you lash out at him and attack him. I believe your attacks only do like a D6 or something, right?
Well, I pull out my long sword.
Oh, okay. Well, it's a D8 then.
Yeah. So that'd be 5 damage.
All right.
Yeah, he takes a
Yeah.
swing at you.
I think I would just take it, like kind of just not prepared for it. You said 5?
Yeah, 5 damage.
All right. I would just look at you and be like, sir?
Okay. All right. Savad, it's your turn again.
I think on some level, Savad is still there. And Gesh, you would see the crazed, sad, confused, pained look in his eyes as he takes another swing at you with his longsword.
I'll let you roll a wisdom save too to try and communicate in some small way.
Ooh, okay. I'm good at wisdom. 12.
That's enough for 2 words.
Kill me. And I'll take another swing with my longsword. That's only 8.
Okay. Misses, just bounces off of your arm, Gesh, as you manage to get it up in time. He's whispering at you, kill me, kill me, kill me.
That's a command from my master.
Okay. Katari, death save.
1-1.
Okay, 1-1, 1-1-1. Okay. All right, Zotalaha looked down at you, Aaron, and is going to make 2 attacks. One with his
With disadvantage.
with disadvantage. One was Makwaidal and one with a bite. Makwaidal misses with like a 12. And the bite is probably actually going to hit. 21.
Just enough. Well, not just 1 over. I have a 20 AC.
Okay. So that is 1 bite attack hit. He does 12 points of damage to you.
Oops, I accidentally put that in chat. That'll be any drain effect is going to be halved as a reminder.
Oh, okay. So instead of 12, then it is 10.
Wait, how did it go from 12 to 10? It's half.
Because if it's halved, he
Oh,
did 8
piercing, yeah.
plus 4
Okay,
drain.
yeah, sorry.
Okay, so it's your turn then. And how do you kill him?
Yes, Paladin's OP. Yeah. The first attack is actually a miss with 17, but the second's a 21. So like he gets bitten by this thing. Like it leans down to bite him. And that was its fatal mistake. The first attack is kind of just using the sword to like slide himself off of this thing's teeth. Before he just takes the long sword, the holy flame, going up across it using his last level 2 spell slot. He just jams the sword up through the bottom of its jaw, and into its mouth and into its head, as it's leaned down, biting into him. And from there, this holy energy just kind of spreads across its face, and into its throat.
And stabbing it through the head was your fatal mistake. As you bury your blade in this creature's brain, Zotalaha chuckles one last time, pulls his head back quickly, and dislodges a fang in your neck. The fang, your body seems to envelop it, swallow it into you. I'm going to need you to make me a wisdom save at disadvantage as it uses its last legendary action.
Alrighty, and I hate to be a killjoy, but if this is anything relating to being charmed or possessed, I actually cannot be affected.
It's not
as a
charmed
heads
or
up.
possessed, just so you know.
Perfect. Alrighty. Ooh, hell yeah. 18 on the. Oh, well, I have disadvantage. Damn it. That's still okay. It's gonna be 19 actually.
Okay. A slow plague begins to creep through your body. It's not possession. It's not a charming. It's a curse. The curse of the Bloodless. You feel this tooth engage with your spine, becoming a part of it, becoming a part of you. And you hear a whisper in the back of your mind. Did you think you could kill a god? Zotsalaha's body lays trembling and burning and turning into ash. Gesh, Savad keeps swinging at you. What do you do?
I'm assuming he keeps mouthing "kill me" or something to that effect.
Yeah, he keeps saying it.
I think after like maybe a second or two and another hit, I probably would knock him unconscious. If that's a thing.
Well, it's dealing non-lethal damage, but it still knocks him out.
Okay.
So
yeah. Oh, now Jesus Christ! Natural 20.
okay, he's dead. Just kill him. How do you kill him?
I believe I probably take like the butt of my sword and try to like just knock him unconscious to be like knock it off, and it goes like through his skull on accident.
Yeah, like it caves his head in.
Yeah,
And he just collapses backward to the ground. Yeah.
And then I'm probably just like I don't think he would know what to do at the moment.
Yeah.
I don't think he's ever been alive or been his master's always been alive since he's been created.
So yeah, just across the floor behind him as you splatter his skull. I'm guessing somebody's gonna go and stabilize Katari.
Would I go and nerd?
Yeah,
you're in control of yourself, Aaron.
Okay, I am in control.
You are in control of yourself. You are just now something other than what you are.
Is there is it still difficult terrain?
No, the blood seeps away.
All right, Aaron's going to sprint down the stairs as far as he can. Is he able to make it to Katari in one round?
Yeah.
He's going to like slide down onto his knees, using the armor to just skid the last little bit before just like slamming a hand down onto Katari, probably a little bit too hard. As he does so, he's going to use his last 5 points of lay on hands.
Payback for slapping away the spiders in the first session.
Yeah. And honest question.
Uh-huh.
Does Aaron feel like this thing is like using his body to stay alive?
Yes.
Without even a second to like give Katari any time to do anything, Aaron is just going to assume the worst. Contamination needs to be destroyed wherever it is. He's going to pull out his dagger and cut his throat.
Oh. Katari, you come to, your eyes blearily opening as you look up at Aaron, holy light pouring into you, healing you, and he cuts his own throat and collapses to the ground.
And I'm at the blood just like gushes out onto Katari. Just whoa, whoa, like looks around, doesn't see Zotzalaha, just grabs his friend. No! Maybe he would try and like stop the bleeding with his hands.
Yeah, as you put your hand over the wound, trying to stop it, Aaron, any last words?
He had a grip on me even after he was gone. It was the only way. Live.
And then he can't speak anymore as blood fills his mouth. And he collapses in your arms. Something white pokes through the wound. Katari. Something white and pointed.
I'm trying to imagine what he would do in this scenario.
And it's definitely unnatural, like very unnatural. Like you can't explain what it is.
He would just set him down. Like Aaron told him there's like corruption and like something's going on. So he's just gonna like let him go and kind of like freak out for a little bit.
It seems to slowly grow from his throat until it rests there, just sitting on his skin. A fang, thick, large as a dagger. It gleams red with Aaron's blood. You can see that it is a tooth so finely cleaned and made that it glimmers in the light.
I'm just gonna leave it there. I'm not doing it. So I see the tooth, I see my dead friend, there's blood everywhere. I look over at Gesh. Is he still like, is he active or is he inert now? Is he gone?
I don't know. I want to think that I'd be inert if Saved made me. Or at least maybe the amulet that's attached to him is has to be taken by somebody else who's living, maybe.
Yeah, I imagine that your final action was to pick Savat up in your arms and hold him. And so you're just kneeling there with him in your arms, the amulet hanging around his neck, unable to move.
With a giant hole in his head, gushing
Yeah.
his brains out.
Viscera and gore dripping from the end of your blade. Katari, the door rattles.
Fuck, what now?
It shakes again as something seems to be trying to push it open, battering at it.
And Kutari would just, oh shit, and he would like see Gesh there and kind of go over, Gesh, and get nothing. And he would remember what Aaron said when they saw them originally, and he would rip the amulet off of Savad and put it around his neck.
You wake up, Gesh, and the first thing you understand, Gesh, is grief. As your mind awakens from its sleeping state. This is a new feeling for you, something you've never understood before, something you never felt before. And as you look down, you understand why.
Oh man. I think I would probably, I can't sob or anything like that, but I would probably just like cradle the body just a little bit closer. Just kind of stand there for a second. Probably not even paying attention to the fact that he doesn't have the omelet on, or that anybody else is even there.
The door rattles again. Aaron and Savad, you stand in the room watching your friends try and make heads or tails of what to do. You see the door shaking. You see the light in the distance. Aaron, you almost watch as Katari reaches for the fang and then pulls his hand away, thinking better of it. You aren't the only ones in the room, though Claire may be gone as well. An ominous, large black shadow stands next to you. Go, little one. That is what you wanted, yes. A glorious death. A chance to be with your wondrous god Tyr. And you, who spoke so strongly and died so quickly. Be reunited with your friends. Find them again in whatever afterlife you foolishly believe in. And Zotalaha chuckles low in his throat.
So let me get this description of the room straight. We have the door rattling on the opposite end, and we have the light that we can see that goes to the afterlife in the room as well.
Uh-huh.
With this large shadow standing by us.
Mm-hmm.
I look to Aaron and I say, shall we spit in the eye of this so-called god one last time?
Aaron just nods in affirmation.
I don't know what the rules are here, but Sivad would walk over to the door and attempt to try and hold it shut. If that's all possible as a ghost, I don't know what I am exactly.
No, yeah, your hands would just kind of slip straight through it, because you're not malevolent at spirit, like you're passing on to the afterlife. Right now, you're just kind of in the interim.
If I pass my head through, can I see what's on the other side?
Yeah, you see hundreds of normal people, no longer bloodless or cursed.
Oh, well, I go back to Aaron and I'm like, well, I think we're okay. I think they're okay here. And I'll relay what I saw to Aaron.
Then what's done, what we came here to do, is done. And he's going to look up towards this shadow. We'll be here for a long time, it seems.
Did you say we will be here for a long time?
You said you, but
Oh, to the Zotalaha. He just chuckles. Perhaps.
Yes, that's the bad thing about being a deity who's talked about in the shadows, as it were. No one really cares. No one really talks about you. But allow me to leave you with one thing. The double Greyhawk salute. And I'll walk into the light.
Okay. You're carried away by the light, drifting into nothingness, into something greater still. Zotulaha looks at you, Aaron. That one does not understand. If you wish to stay and watch, you shall see how the gods operate. And he turns and looks back at the scene. Katari, Gesh, the doors burst open, and through them, hundreds of normal people come flooding. You see your great-great-great-grandfather, Gorodondo Katai, and he looks at you, and you look at him, and you bear the family's markings. And he smiles broadly and runs up to you and gives you a big hug. You see Nub come through the door and look at you, Gesh, and see Savid in your hands limp. And he walks up and puts a hand on your shoulder and weeps with you, feeling the same grief that you do. People swarm you, trying to get closer, trying to see what happened, trying to see if you're okay. And as we pan out on this gathering, this congregation, you see a young Olman boy kneel over the body of the Hand of Tyr and close his hands around the fang, which immediately leaps into his arm. Zotulaha turns and looks at you, Aaron. Enjoy the afterlife. And the darkness slowly seeps away into the boy. Let's jump forward 10 years. Gesh and Katari, where are you? What are you doing?
For me, I would literally be following. I'd be following wherever he goes.
So Katari shortly after would have given the ring to Nub, since it's someone that actually knows Gesh from before, and kind of let them go on their way to whatever they're gonna do. Katari, I guess, would return home with his grandfather and be like, "Hey, look who I found." And then would continue trying to seek his own glory. He'd let everyone know what Aaron, the Hand of Tyr, did and how he was able to fight him and bring him down almost by himself, but with, of course, a lot of help, support from Katari. But he wouldn't steal the glory from him and would go seek out his own still.
I was gonna say then if Nub has the amulet ring, I imagine that Nub would probably go back home after seeing and dealing with all of this up to the north, and so I would just travel with him, and just do the same cynical stuff that I did with Savad, and keep him company.
Savad, what is your afterlife like?
Oh, it's not so bad. I get to hang out with Erstwhile and Celine as often as I want, or Celia rather. Celia and Erstwhile. It's not so bad. I've met these two. I've met these two that were rather quite interesting fellows. Montague de Montague and a Yosny, a little gnomish fellow. They're quite entertaining. Apparently, they met their end in the same complex as I. But they're great to talk to every now and again. But other than that, it's a great paradise filled with all the knowledge that I can attain. So much knowledge that I wasn't able to attain in my waking life.
And Aaron, you stand with Tyr. You fulfilled your duty. even when it came down to killing yourself to prevent evil from spreading. You've honored yourself in all the hands of Tyr, and as such have earned a valued position at his side. What does the afterlife look like for you?
So Aaron is standing in the manner that he usually does, proudly, but his face shows even more of a pride than is typical. His armor is now adorned, ornate, with the symbols of Tyr carved across it in gold. He stands in these like huge marble halls, just decorated like as if through royalty. Not lavish, but still impressive. And he just looks around. He sees his brothers, his sisters of Tyr, the others who have been given positions of glory around him. He just thinks back to that shadow form, laughing.
Tyr would turn and look at you, resplendent in his glory, light shining from beautiful ornate armor, a massive blade at his waist. Aaron, I have need of your services once more.
Anything you say, my lord.
You must go to Greyhawk and find the chapel of the hands there. Speak with your brethren. Inform the bishop there. Tell him that a great darkness comes. Tell him that the hands of Tyr must be stronger now more than ever.
It will be done, my lord, as it always has been.
As with a flash of light you disappear and appear in the chapel, in the church of the hands of Tyr, the bishop looks up, suddenly aware of your celestial presence. As you begin to relay with him, we shift out and head to the underbelly of Greyhawk. We see a young Ulman boy, perhaps 18, 19, 20, moving through the seedy underbelly. He wears a long coat, covering his arms and his body and his face. He moves quietly with precision, slinking from shadow to shadow. Always felt, his presence felt, but never seen. And for a brief moment, the light catches him, and he looks up towards the sun, squinting, and grins, revealing vampiric teeth as he slinks back into the shadows. There's a brief scream, sound of a scuffle, and we see him kneeling over a body, biting its throat, standing away, and dragging them down into the sewers. Beneath the city, a legion waits. And that is where we will end this mini campaign. All right, guys. Great game. Thanks for playing. Let's hurry and do outros. Thoughts about the game. I realize we heavily modified the Hidden Shrine of Tamoachan, but that's mostly because I figured out that I don't like running dungeon crawls. They are not my thing. So let's go ahead and go from Corey all the way over to Jonathan.
Yeah, I don't have much to say. It's a good game. I got wrecked. Jeff carried me, so pretty standard.
Jeff.
Yep, I'm Jeff. I have a YouTube channel called Encounterbalance and a podcast called The Dudes of Yore with Jeremy, Lily, and Chad Nick. So check that stuff out if you are so inclined. And yeah, paladins are the best, especially when you're fighting like vampires as the main enemy. So shout outs to paladins. And yeah, this was really interesting. I do agree that like the dungeon crawl part was not necessarily my my normal bag, but as we kind of moved into a little bit less of that, it was definitely more enjoyable, at least for me. But the whole thing was fun.
Sean.
Awesome. Thank you. Like again, no channel to plug or anything, but awesome mini campaign. Love all the campaigns that you run and playing with all these guys. It's always a blast, and I love being able to try new crazy people like a gnome druid and now a whatever you want to call it, a shield guardian, basically. So been fun. Thanks.
Jonathan.
Yeah, check me out at Sidbad Sanctum, both on YouTube and WordPress. I'm at Jimmy Joe Jams on Twitter. But yeah, basically, I'm just gonna have to repeat what everyone else said. It was a great game. I was totally wrecked like the first round in that last combat, but that's totally fine. Came back as a sick zombie. But as far as dungeon crawls go, I think you guys just have to find the right one. I think you have to find a way to run them that works for you. And trust me, once you find that, you're gonna fall in love with dungeon crawls. And yeah, that's what I have to say.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like I liked it more once I wasn't sticking directly to the book. Because I don't know, if I just feel like the dungeon crawl is designed to like make you question every single thing and it bogs everything down. So like, like once I was making it my own thing, it felt like it went a lot smoother. But I don't know, maybe you're right. Maybe I just need to try a different one.
Well, that's how it's supposed to be run. Really, you're supposed to change it however you want. No one that writes these things really expects you to run it like by the book. No one really does when they write these things.
Yeah, for sure. So I agree. But anyways, I'm Tyler from Channel on a Roll, ROLE. It was a pleasure running this game for these people. I'm happy to say that I have a dungeon crawl, I guess, under my belt in a way. I've also run Sunless Citadel, which was pretty fun. I like that one because there's a lot more RP for it. But yeah, no, thanks for playing, everybody. Thanks for dying, gruesome deaths. And yeah, thanks again for playing. And as always, I hope you find yourselves in your games on a roll.